the industry for over 20 years, you learn a few things. For one thing, you learn your product inside and out. But you also learn how to ask the right questions and give satisfying answers. Jim's Firearms.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Thursday, September 14th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 92. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Big Deal or No Big Deal, and Chef Michael Johnson joins the show at 9:15 for a new edition of Munchies. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah! Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, everyone? Welcome in. OTB Thursday, baby. Another week of football hurtling at us. Got some Thursday night football going on tonight. We will dive into what is maybe the worst college slate I've ever seen, but we will try to find you the good. Also, I think maybe we lean a bit on gambling here, Jake, because with a lot of large spreads, you can still have close games, right? I mean, if you bet them. And I've got some sneaky good bets coming up for you.
All right.
In hour number two. Sneaky good.
Well,
inarguable logic. Just wait. You're going to hear these bets. You're going to say, my God, T-Bob, those are the best bets I've ever heard in my entire life.
yeah, I got to find somebody to be interested in this slate that we have. It is not great. In fact, it's awful.
Again, it's a weird thing because I should be trying to sell you on it, so you want to listen to hear about it.
Yeah, but look, we're not trying to lie to the people. And I agree. Like, people be like, oh, you got to make it interesting. You seen this thing?
And you know if Jake's saying that, that's legitimate. Because even last week, every time I tried to bring up this complaint, he was kind of like, no, I'm excited for this.
Great.
I'm excited for that. I mean, you know, let's use our adjectives carefully.
Nope, it was great.
Great is... No,
it was great.
It was just good. It was fun.
Look, I
fun.
understand that you had to eat a lot of crow, and so maybe it wasn't as good for you.
Oh, okay.
It was great for the rest of us.
You think guys? You think that I'm mad that Alabama got their ass kicked?
Feels like it.
You think that I'm mad that Texas A&M clearly showed that Jimbo Fisher is not and will never be that guy again, and now they have to pay $150 million? That's the other thing we didn't mention. On top of Jimbo's buyout, to buy out the old staff and hire new staff, Emil just keeps feeding me anti-A&M information. It is estimated to be around a $150 million price tag.
Ooh,
let's go, poor
cool.
boys. Where you
All
at?
right.
What do you
tight.
you can't afford a house? A&M, come on, make it happen.
Look, I think you were sleeping.
But it's awful.
I think you were sleeping on last week. You had great finish between Utah and Baylor. You had a great finish between Oregon and Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Those are two games. You had a great finish between Appalachian State and North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You had a great game, Washington State, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, Tulane was highly entertaining.
And look, Syracuse, Purdue this weekend will probably be tight too. That doesn't mean
every
it's
team that I just gave you
to,
is ranked.
It doesn't mean it's going to give you look.
Syracuse is actually almost ranked, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I don't know much about
others
other
receiving votes. They're right there.
Dino Babers.
Dino's good for one of these.
Every 3 years. Whatever. The point is, last week was all right. This week, if Jake is saying it, is obviously really, really, it's the worst I've ever seen. But whatever.
It might be the worst I've ever seen.
LSU Mississippi State is legitimately a top 2, if not the best game of the entire weekend.
Minnesota, North Carolina.
Yeah. Which that is, if I want to give it out a sneaky early play here, I think that one's pretty easy. UNC at home, Cal McManus versus May. I like Minnesota and PJ Fleck a lot. Maybe if this game was in Minnesota, I would take them, but I think the gap between May and Cal McManus is just a bit too large. I'm rolling with the heels here, even coming, and I think App State's way better than, or maybe whatever. We'll get into it later. So mentioned LSU Mississippi State. I think I want to start there.
Okay.
Boys, did Brian Kelly say anything interesting yesterday, Taylor, besides what John Emery is going to be back? Did we learn any? Did we garner any other great new insight?
No, but we probably will today. His post-practice interview will be today. Spoke on the teleconference a little bit yesterday, but he didn't elaborate on it too much.
Yeah, so for some reason I was thinking today was Friday. So we will hear more from Brian Kelly tonight.
Almost.
Oh, what a bad feeling.
No, great feeling, dude. Thursdays count as Fridays now, especially during football season. Friday shows during football season are just easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
They are, but like Fridays, like when I'm done with my second show, I'm done.
Yeah, we'll get to watch. We'll get to watch a little Eagles Vikings tonight, which I want to discuss. Has the feeling of one of those games where, it should easily be the Eagles, but because it's the NFL, that's probably why it's going to be the Vikings. Let's talk Mississippi State real quick, though, because the only thing that's kind of freaking me out is after watching that film, it's how confident I actually feel in LSU winning this game. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to cover. I think the offensive line is going to dominate. I think I need to see the defensive line dominate. But it does kind of beg the question, okay, if we wanted to do a devil's advocate exercise in and say, okay, even though I'm feeling very confident, how could this all go awry, right? How could I be eating crow for a second Monday in a row? And I guess if I'm reaching for angles, Jake, one thing that I have found is, or maybe thought about, is that maybe Mississippi State comes out and is more creative offensively than what they've displayed the first couple of games. Is there a world out there where maybe they're playing a bit of possum, playing a bit passive? I mean,
no, not with that game last week.
I mean, I was asked this question
they knew what
by
that game was going to be.
Brian Haydad yesterday, and I was like, I don't think you really tend to do that in a week in which you end up going to overtime with that team, right? You normally can't play these sort of games. But then again, if you look at Arizona, maybe it's not even like, we're going to hide our playbook. But if you looked at Arizona's front seven, like in your Mississippi State and what they want to do, you're like, okay, we can commit to running the ball. They're tiny. We should be able to win that battle. We're going to commit to doing that. I just can't fathom, and I know LSU had some bad run fits, but with how susceptible LSU's looked in the secondary and with the size of their front seven compared to the front seven of an Arizona, I just can't fathom that Mississippi State would come out here again and do this 65-35 kind of run-pass ratio.
Yeah, well, the thing that you're talking about, and I understand what you're saying, but to our listeners, T-Bob's not saying that they've been holding back information or holding back plays. T-Bob is saying that they turned on the tape for Arizona and said, hey, we have an advantage there, and there up front. We're going to try to utilize our running back and take advantage of what they don't do well. And so that's, I think, what you're talking about.
Well, at first I was posed the question of, were they holding plays back?
No, you can't. No, Arizona was too good. Arizona last year was a much better football team. They had some quality wins.
Yeah.
There ain't no way in hell Mississippi State could hold anything back. I think that
I agree.
They thought that was their advantage.
I agree.
Was to run the football at you had a 225-pound edge on the left. You had a 219-pound edge on the right, and they said, hey, let's make this make sense to us.
So I agree. So then you start to map that out, and you're like, okay, so no, maybe it was more game plan related. And again, if you just look at LSU, even with all the bad defense you've seen thus far, or maybe because of it, because a lot of it came in the passing game, you would dictate that the game plan should be more dynamic this week, or should be more creative, or maybe should try to lean on Will Rogers and take advantage of that secondary. The only problem is it just doesn't, nothing that we've seen from them thus far appears that that's the type of offense they want to run.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say, I would just say more diverse in what they're going to try to do maybe. He threw it, 17 times?
13 to 17.
Against Arizona? Like that number to me is going to be closer to 25. against LSU. And so I think you will see a different game plan. They realize
especially
that
if they get down, too. They were winning
if they get down, they realize that they can't big boy LSU's defensive front like they wanted to against Arizona. And to your other point, LSU's defensive backs have shown that they have struggled in one-on-one situations. Now, they've been there to make the play, but they have not yet made the play. And so I would expect it to look different. But if it does look different, here, I'll give you this. 41.3, 59.9, 43.5, 29.1. That is 4 of the 5 grades in pass protection for Mississippi State's offensive line. Now, you had one player that graded out at 79%, Johnson, the tackle. Everybody else was a failing grade. So, like, we're assuming maybe that happens, but they might also have come in with a game plan against Arizona to run the football because they're struggling right now in pass protection. Now, run block was not much better, but at least everybody had a grade of 58 or better.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting team because they returned a lot. They returned 8 starters on offense, 4 on defense, and we talked about it during media days, more like 6 or 7 with the guys that they had that played a ton, just weren't considered air quote starters.
Yeah.
But they're learning everything over again. I mean, they are learning something completely new. Now, defensive-wise, they're not. They're still going to run the 3-3-5 principles. They're still going to have Zach Arnett's defense. But the offense, like when you turn on the tape, it looks like guys that are thinking too much.
It's interesting, too, because last year they weren't even particularly good at pass blocking, in my opinion. It was just that the offense got the ball out of the hands so quickly that it didn't matter. And that's, again, where I just become flummoxed trying to understand Zach Arnett's decision-making process. Because, like in that conversation right there with the offensive line is exactly what I'm always talking about with something like the air raid, how it kind of masks talent deficiency and can help you to punch up. Now, it will get you burned against maybe some lesser teams sometimes, but it's like, okay, if you can't pass block, just have the scheme and the quarterback do the pass blocking. But now you're telling these guys, not only do you want them to traditionally run block 65% of the time, be good enough to move guys like Mekhi Wingo and Savion Jones around, but then we also want you to hold these traditional pass sets for long times. So you hit play actions and 7-step drops. It just seems like a path to losing to me. And maybe I don't know. I just don't think LSU. I think LSU's going to dominate this game.
Here's the one thing that if you're LSU, you have to make sure you have taken care of. And last year I would have said Will Rogers in the game, and I think we mentioned it yesterday, but it is Woody Marks.
Yeah.
That is the player that you have to stop. And last year he was Mississippi State's leading rusher with 113 attempts, 582 yards. A good year. This year already he's got 43 attempts. He's already got 250 yards.
Yeah.
So he is almost halfway where he was a year ago, where he was, again, the leading rusher. We're talking 13 games, leading rusher, 582, 2 games, 250 already. Last year, he had 48 catches out of the backfield. He can do that again. I think he had, if I'm not mistaken, he's had 4 catches in both games, first game and second game. So he's already got 8 catches this year. He is the all-time leading reception guy by a back in Mississippi State history. He's up there as far as receptions in general. He is a real weapon. He is playing even better than he was a year ago. He is understanding what to do in the counter and the power and some of this other run game that I didn't really know how he would react. Cole Kulick and I had him at Media Day to 101, and I was talking run game with him, and he was open. He's like, yeah, I still have to learn some of these things. These are things I haven't done in a very long time. We're working through those things and how to read a second puller on a counter and, going from B gap to expand. Well, he's learned it because he looks like the one player on Mississippi State's offense that can go out there, take a game over, and beat you.
Yeah, I think, and like you said, he's done well. I think he's actually also about to become Mississippi State's all-time leading pass catcher. Everyone from the running back position, he's right on the edge.
He's up there for receptions, like regardless of position, which is wild.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe it is just all-time leading pass catcher.
I think it might be. I think he's already got the running back.
That would make sense, actually. That probably makes more sense. Does T-Bob ever wash that shirt, or does it sit hanging on his unused exercise bike until the day he wears it?
T-Bob wouldn't have an unused exercise bike. He would have a bike that he uses all the time.
Yeah, hell yeah. That Peloton's got close to 1,000 rides on it now. But no, this shirt, I mean, my clothes. Of course I do. What are you talking about? I love this shirt. Everybody has this is like the equivalent of a blankie for me. Everybody has their kind of comfort shirt or comfort something or another.
Ooh, I'd like to know what mine is. I think mine actually, I wore it yesterday. Mine is the 2018 Fiesta Bowl LSU hoodie.
Yep. Seen you wear it a
God,
ton.
I love that thing.
Yeah, I know. See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody has a article of clothing that you connect with. What's yours, Taylor?
Well, no, I was just going to say, like, he's talking about the 2018 Fiesta Bowl hoodie. Joe Burrow wore that, like, all throughout 2019, and somebody asked him, they're like, hey, like, what is it about the 2018 Fiesta Bowl thing? And he goes, it's probably my most comfortable hoodie.
So
he goes, I love it, so I wear it all the time.
It really, like, everybody that has one of those
said that,
wears it all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know what the
you said that
material
because he
is,
said the exact same thing.
We got some interesting questions coming in about how to maybe use some of that defensive line. How'd you get creative with some of the personnel groupings? We can visit that on the other side of this break. And then also, I do want to talk about, because we talk about, like, okay, when Mississippi State's on offense, what about when LSU's on offense? What could potentially go awry there?
I did do the research real quick. Woody Marks, with one more catch, will become the all-time leading receiver as far as receptions in Mississippi State history. He will pass Fred Ross. He's currently tied with Fred Ross. How about this, though? Dylan Johnson, who was the other running back now at Washington with Woody Marks, he is 6th all-time with 149 catches.
Jeez.
You had two backs playing in the same backfield, 149 and 199 as far as catches. That tells you exactly what they were doing with those players in the air raid, swing passes.
Well, don't worry. Zach Arnett put a stop to it.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Get the hell out of here. We don't need any of that catching out of the backfield crap.
That's crazy. 199 catches.
What if we just lined up and ran power? Okay, like men. Like how football used to be played.
That's right, by God.
When we get back, more to be.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. Take advantage of 50 years of plumbing experience, y'all. But remember, it's not just residential. If you're listening, you're a business owner, or you have like an office building, and you need your plumbing needs met, you want to go to Central Plumbing. They've seen it all. So they can fix it all. They have flat rate pricing. They're licensed, volunteer. They have excellent warranty coverage once the work is done. It's very easy to set up times for them to come out to your home. You're going to enjoy the entire process beginning to end. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, CentralPlumbing.org.
Yeah, call that number anytime. Anytime. 24/7, 365. Doesn't matter if it's a holiday, even if it's during an LSU game, during a Saints game, right? And you're like, ain't anybody going to come out here? No, they're going to come out. They're going to come out. They're going to fix your problem. They're going to help you out. 225-925-8552 for those emergencies. But not only in emergencies, if you're looking to upgrade at your home or business, go to the website today. That is centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Rouse's Luke Johnson, talking Saints, and Stefan Krajnik from the Jackson Clarion Ledger, talking Mississippi State Bulldogs. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, let's get to some of your Bayou Ford YouTube comments here and Off the Bench. I think we've got some interesting questions. Fawn Santarelli, so does this mean we should stack the box and take the chance that our DBs could just slow the passing game enough? I mean, we're not talking probably like 9 in the box or anything absurd, but you're going to have 7 in there, right? Like, I think you're definitely going to lean on defending the run versus the pass, and yes, make them prove that they will still rely on Will Rogers and have some success there. I would test that out early at least.
Yeah, I don't think that I would have crazy changes. I agree with T-Bob. Like, you're going to maybe add some numbers to the box, but not have a completely different game plan. I think it's also more about personnel. Like, this feels like a game. We talked about it yesterday. Mekhi Wingo should dominate.
Yep.
He should dominate his individual matchups. He's no longer going to receive a double team on every single snap because now he's got his partner right next to him, right? I mean, he's got Mason Smith right next to him, and so you don't have the ability. Now, if they have Mekhi Wingo double teamed all the time, then that ball's on Mason Smith.
Yep.
And Mason Smith has to take over the game. But this feels like a game that he's going to be incredibly difficult to block. I'm looking more one level back. I'm looking at linebacker. You are the key to this game. And Omar Speights has got an ankle injury. We don't know what his status is. Whoever that linebacker is, you might be the most important player, because if Perkins is going to be a nickel Sam, he's going to be doing some different things like we saw last week. It's going to fall on you to go out there and make plays against a really good player, their best player. So that's the position group that I'm probably going to be watching the closest when this game starts.
Yeah, this is, like we said, the perfect get-right game for that linebacker crew. Need to gain a little confidence. What about this question, Jake? JB asking, could they move Mason Smith to end and put Jordan Jefferson in the middle? I think this is kind of interesting because, I mean, if you really wanted to go, is it crazy? If you really wanted to go like, okay, let's put our best run defensive line out there, would that not be maybe Mason Smith and Savion Jones at the two ends? And I mean, if you're doing like a more traditional 4-3, like 4 big guys, and then Wingo and Jefferson in the middle.
Yeah, I guess the only thing you'd have to make sure whoever that end is, let's say you kick either Mason Smith or Mekhi Wingo out. Now, I wouldn't kick Mekhi Wingo out, even though he might look like he's suited better for that. It's, do they understand the edge responsibilities?
Yeah.
Do they understand setting the edge? It's not, you can't just place somebody in that position and say, okay, well, you're bigger, you're strong, whole point. Well, there's a technique to holding point. There's a thought process between, what he's done, which is try to wreak havoc in the middle of the defense, and actually having a responsibility where, yes, I've got to go fast, but I also have this responsibility that I cannot let anything outside of me. So it's a different speed. It's a different thought process.
Learn it. We asked go linemen to play 17 different positions. Just learn the position.
Look, just like they asked fullback to play running back, tight end, and fullback.
Exactly.
But
Okay?
look, everybody's built a little bit different.
See, defenders are just dumb. You can't put too much on their plate. Makai Wingo's very smart.
I've played here what Hartsock thinks about defensive players, right?
Yeah.
That still plays true.
Coach.
So
I'll be interested to see if they play with the groupings at all because but they've been talking about bumping Mason Smith to end in packages for years, right? Didn't they even do that when he was a freshman at times? I'm just more excited.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it is a different position. So if he has not been repping that and he's missed a lot of practice, I don't know that you can count on him to go out there and execute like you have to just because the reps haven't been there.
I'm just more excited to see Mason Smith and can he continue some of the growth that he even showed within the game last week. Now it's okay, first contact, you got it out your system. Now it's time to go out there and play free, start a ball, get violent hands. The other guy's in on you. He was giving up his chest last week early on, and then he wasn't shedding. Whereas you watch Makai Wingo and his hips were exploding, arm was fully extended, getting off blocks.
Is some of that game shape?
No, absolutely. Because I
never missed a game at LSU. You had a torn ACL, so you went through the process of trying to get back in that. What was it like for you? Not even mentally, that's a portion of it, but physically, even though you've been practicing, what was that first game like?
I don't know because I don't have a great parallel for what he went through where missing a year, almost 2 years when you look at it all together, it felt like because of how his last season ended where he missed last year and he plays the bowl game. I basically didn't play football for a couple of years, right? Because you redshirt, then you get hurt. So it was just an extended, I don't know. I will say this, I've hammered this week. I saw very noticeable improvement within the game itself on Saturday. So I would imagine that would continue into this Saturday.
Would this surprise you if I said last week he graded out overall 68.6%, but 40.6% in the run game and was 82.7 in the pass rush?
Maybe
do you think that's fair?
Bit because I don't remember any pass rushes super popping off the screen to me.
Well, there's one sack.
But
and they've got one on the year now.
Yeah, so maybe a bit surprised. I'm not surprised in the run though. That feels about right for how it went on early on. Yes, Dane, we'll be doing whiskey and wine on Saturday, and they are going to be opening up the doors early at 11 a.m. for all the degenerates that want to come get drunk and smoke cigars at 11 a.m. while watching Mississippi State football.
If only Jefferson Pilot was still a thing.
I know. Let's flip to the other side of the ball. When LSU was on offense, Rabley has a column in The Advocate today essentially saying, this offensive line has to carry this team. And I get it what he's getting at, right? With the defensive struggles right now, ultimately the strength of this team is the offense. And football, look at Texas, Alabama. It is still who controls the line. And this is probably the reason more than any other we spent more time talking defense because it's a bigger vulnerability, I think a bigger insecurity for us. But the reason why I feel like LSU is going to cover and handle the game more than ever is because of the offensive line. I actually think they've been excellent thus far. Sure, did they struggle to run the ball against Florida State? Yes, but a lot of people are going to struggle to run the ball against Florida State.
They never really had an opportunity either to commit to it.
True. And look, you've had the emergence of some backs, right? Brian Kelly in the teleconference yesterday talking about Caleb Jackson continuing to improve. Logan Diggs had some really nice runs last game. John Emery's going to be back for whatever that's worth. I feel very the only thing, and this shouldn't happen, at least not after adjustments. The only way, Jake, that I can see Mississippi State having consistent success against LSU's offense is maybe that Zach Arnett just kind of relies on all that defensive prowess that he does have because he runs a very multiple scheme. It's like a 3-3-5 sometimes, more traditional. Maybe they just super confuse the O-line and Jaden Daniels, but that feels like such a stretch given the experience of Daniels and that offensive line and Mike Denbrock. And while, you know me, I think Mike Denbrock's version of the spread is not the most dynamic or exciting, it will work against 90 and work very well against 90% of the opponents that LSU will play.
I wouldn't even say really the offensive line with Arnett and what he can bring. I'm talking to the running backs too in pass protection. Because if he brings extra, well, that falls on the running back to either have that free release route or to actually block somebody, stay on that guy. Because if they end up bringing 6 guys, well, you're going to leave one for the back. And last week, and we talked about it, Logan Diggs, 22% in pass protection. Josh Williams, 19% in pass protection. Caleb Jackson, 0% in pass protection.
Is this just too crazy? Just almost in a Mike Leach-esque way. Let's just keep it the ultimate, keep it simple, stupid, and just 2 5-man protections. And get the back out and let Jaden Daniels operate in space and make you right.
I'm going to see if I can go back in the archives, in the notes, and see how much in 2019 LSU free release Clyde, because the percentage was alarmingly high. I don't remember the exact percentage.
Yeah.
But I want to go back and look at what it was, because that was the game plan then, is get the back out, make everything easier for the quarterback. If you have a free rusher, leave it for who? Your veteran quarterback.
Yes.
So
and Jane Daniels could beat him with the throw or with his legs is the thing.
And your backs aren't very good at pass protection right
exactly.
now.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's not like keeping them in is going to stop everything.
So stop forcing it.
Yeah.
Stop forcing it. If they want to add numbers, trust your quarterback to burn them.
And so when we give a grade like for pass protection, you're like, wait a minute, I saw the guy block the other guy. He didn't hit the quarterback. It's a lot of different things that come into this. Like, did you get out in your route fast enough? They take that into account. Were you just staring at nothing? They take that into account. Did you try to cut block and your guy got up and made the tackle? We saw that against Florida State on that 4th down. Like, they take that into account. So initially, yes, you did good. So there's a lot of different things that when you're grading pass protection, it's not just did you win, did your linebacker hit the quarterback? It's all those things. Like, how quickly did you get out? Did you invite pressure? And so that's what they have to get better at. It's not to say that they cannot. We have seen Josh Williams, certainly in pass protection, stand up, stone a linebacker, keep him off the quarterback. He has that ability, but you also have to get out in your route. And it's something they have to improve on, because if they are going to ask them to do that, if they don't free release them, then you've got to make it a better situation for your offense.
Yeah, and you know, it's actually kind of let me think about if I believe that or not. I was just going to say it almost that simplicity almost clears it up on the offensive line responsibility wise. Well, but maybe it's actually not any easier or better. It's just going to be different for them. So again, I don't know. That's what I would do. But it's also probably because I'm biased and it's a trigger point to just watch a running back stand there with airplane arms and clog everything up and add defenders to the rush and QB spies and whatnot. But the bottom line of all of this, though, is that I feel great about LSU's offense in this game. And again, the only way I could see it going awry would not be just a losing individual battles like against Florida State, but would be somehow Zach Arnett just creating like a magnum opus of a game plan that, like, I guess would be like the fear, I think, for a lot of LSU fans is an Arkansas type of performance from last year, where they out-schemed you. They out-schemed you, and you just could not get anything going offensively all day long. I think LSU is past that, personally. I mean, you look at the 10 scoring drives last week. Again, I know Florida State what the final score was, but on a drive-to-drive basis, the offense actually pretty successful. Like, it's a very good defense. So I think LSU's past that, but we're going to come to find out whether or not I'm right to give them that benefit of the doubt on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm trying to see like what the Mississippi State defense is kind of lining up in, because they are multiple, and it looks like last week, 76 plays, they were in nickel 72 of the 76. The other 4, they were in dime. I mean, so this is a sub-package type defense. So I wonder how much that affects LSU's thought process if they try to establish the run, like we're talking about, knowing you're going to have a sub-player, at least one in every single play.
Yeah, they should be able to run the ball. I mean, they should control both lines of scrimmage, man. They really should. All right, when we get back, maybe we stay on LSU, Mississippi State, maybe switch it over to Saints. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. If you are in the need for a new vehicle, you want to go check out this selection that All-Star has, man. And look, maybe you have a family now, maybe you don't. Maybe you want like a big truck like a Tundra. Maybe you just want something like a Camry. Maybe you want a hybrid, a Highlander, whatever. The point is, they have it all over there. You can check out the inventory online at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. You can check out the new or Toyota certified used inventory. And go see them off the Airline Highway, right? And let them kind of guide you through the process, explain what your options are. I guarantee you're going to emerge satisfied. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Go to the website, allstarbatonrouge.com, and you can right now go to new in the top left corner, click on Build Your Toyota. And remember, when you're building that Toyota, you can add whatever you want. You can also take away whatever you want. So it's truly customized to your wants and needs. Go to the website today, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP or 2.9% for 72 months on all new 23 Ram 1500 trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It was a humid day. Barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time to slip away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scucha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-26.
Tune in this Sunday for our noon kickoff. The Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Immediately following that, the New York Jets will travel to the Dallas Cowboys. And then our nightcap, the Miami Dolphins against the New England Patriots. Catch all 3 of those games here on 104.5 ESPN.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy?
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Got a little Thursday night football coming up tonight. Eagles, Vikings in Philly. 6.5 point spread, boys. Neither team had a great week one. Now, granted, in the NFL, if you can say that you won the game against the Bill Belichick team especially, that's probably something that you should be pleased about. But the Eagles jump out of this crazy 16-0 lead. You're like, oh, my God, they're about to freaking roll. And then Mac Jones ends up kind of throwing for 380, bringing back the game. Jalen Hurts does nothing. So a little bit of insecurity there on the Eagles' part. But the Vikings, man, I mean, I don't know. Losing what I read one writer describe as the zombie Buccaneers. Like, this has the feeling of one of those games where clearly it feels like the Eagles should be the play, but simply because it feels so much that way, the NFL is going to laugh in NFL, and the Vikings will end up winning on the road.
Yeah, let's not act like the Vikings don't have the talent to go out there and win a game like this. I did see something where Baker Mayfield said that he got the Vikings defensive play signals pretty early in the game.
Yeah, said he's a Rangers fan.
That's
he took a shot at the Astros.
Well, because they were asking like how he got it, and he's like, I didn't cheat.
Yeah.
I'm a Rangers fan, not an Astros fan.
We used to,
that's what it was,
yeah.
Our backup quarterbacks and Flynn. Actually, like I hear people in the league talk about how good Flynn was at getting somebody else's signals. Like Flynn was like the master of it, apparently, like getting somebody's signals and then relaying it to everybody on the offense. And so, yeah, once you have that, it's a competitive edge for sure.
The amount of processing power that it takes to not only be in the game playing quarterback, where obviously, I mean, something very simple, you have to memorize these encyclopedic play calls, what they all mean. Then once you get to the line, you have to do the quick math of like, okay, what formation are they in? So where does that kind of lead me in my progression? Then I have to do the math of, okay, based on the formation, what are the individual matchups that I'm seeing, right? Because that's something I was talking to Aaron Murray about the other day, is how when you really start to play well at quarterback is when you reach the point where you're not just running the play, you are doing the mental math of, okay, I know this guy's weak against this guy. It's a matchup I like coming in, and this play is going to put them on each other, so that's where I'm going to. And so you're doing all that, and now if you're Baker Mayfield, you're veteran enough where you are deciphering the signals live and using those to throw into the information gumbo. It's insane how hard it is to play quarterback.
The way the story came out made it seem like Baker himself was the one that figured out the signals.
Sure, if that's what it's saying, that's crazy.
I don't remember who they interviewed. It's one of the defensive players, and he said, like, when they went into the locker room at halftime, Baker ran in and was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. I have their defensive signals. So it's like, it wasn't like a backup situation. Like, it seems like during the game, like he was looking over when they were calling the plays and figured it out.
That's what I'm saying. I just can't. Even, I cannot fathom having the mental processing power to juggle to spin all of those plates and spin them successfully.
He was also getting his trash talk in. You see when he ran over the guy, get your weight up, little bro.
They gave him the I don't know what, like, so some, I don't know if it's a news outlet or whatever, gives out like a hard nose run of the week, and they gave him the hard nose run of the week for the stiff arm. Yeah.
So what do we think?
I love a good get your weight up.
So what do we think? I mean, who do you got tonight? You got Eagles or Vikings? I mean, to win, I'm just gonna go chalk and go Eagles. Eagles at home. I don't know that they cover the 6.5. Not on Thursday Night Football, even though. Well, it's weird. I guess both teams are gonna be highly motivated, but Jalen Hurts. There's been a lot of chatter. I mean, him, Joe Burrow, who else is in this boat as having just gotten paid and then been disappointing?
Daniel Jones.
Josh Jones, thank you.
Was bad in week one.
Josh Allen. He got paid last offseason, though, right?
Still,
Lamar's completion percentage.
But, like, there are guys that were paid. Lamar, there you go. It's like this offseason that all struggled. Like, Herbert probably had the best day.
Yeah.
And even that resulted
Lamar's
in
numbers weren't terrible, but I think he was like 180, no touchdowns, and then like he didn't do much on the ground either. So like he didn't turn the ball over, but he was just kind of below average.
Yeah. So a lot of these quarterbacks that got the big contracts, and everybody's so excited. In game number one, not really Not really living up to it. Daniel Jones has got to be the worst, though. Like, I still know Jalen Hurts. Like the most insecure fan base has to be the Giants, right?
Yeah, you don't get beat like that in the NFL.
Well, and you still know that Jalen Hurts is going to be good. Josh Allen, I know you don't like Josh, but I think no, that's true, boys. Is that true or false?
Y'all
think he's overly critical of him,
yes. Okay. If y'all'd love to have the debate, y'all put Josh Allen up there with the top 3 quarterbacks. He continues to make the plays that he'll roll out halftime and just say, you know what, the hell with it. Let me throw it down there. He does it time and time again. He had 4 turnovers. 2 of them were in double coverage for no reason. Until he gets rid of that, he is not going to be in the same category as the other quarterbacks. I don't know why y'all don't realize that.
It doesn't matter.
But he is too careless with the
For
football.
me, it's not really that. Like, I get it. I'm totally with you on that. But he's one of those guys, you're right. Like, he gets in his own head. If he has a turnover, he almost always has another one.
Always.
When he's on, though. My issue is, like, who do you put in that spot if it's not him?
None of this conversation
I
matters.
guess that's my question.
None of this conversation. Well, that's not really a conversation we're having, though. It's whether or not he's a top 3, top 5 guy. But none of this matters because Tua Tagovailoa is the best quarterback in the NFL. Okay? That goes without saying. Now, I know it sounds like I'm only being slightly tongue-in-cheek there. He's not the best, but, like, you know, we could be looking up at the end of the season and see Tua as, like, consensus top 5 guy.
This has to be a must-win game for the Vikings, though, right?
I mean, the 0-2 hole is
Detroit
scary
really
when it comes to NFL history.
Jordan Love started slow, but his final stat line, like, he looked really good. Like,
And
they
his
can't go
teammates are
0-2.
pumped. No, I agree.
You know who's
I agree.
quietly making their way into the conversation is Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, he's definitely top 10 now.
Yeah.
Look, me and Mario were talking, and, like, I was
It's
like,
a big week for him, Chiefs.
Going back to our fantasy league, I was telling Mario, I was like, dude, like, grab Trevor. Like, he's got all the weapons. Like, this is the year for Trevor Lawrence to put it all together. I mean, his top 3 receivers are Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, and Zay Jones. I mean, that's as good as any trio in the NFL. You got Bigsby, who's going to pick it up. Yeah, Evan Ingram's a stud at tight end. You got Doug Peterson, the QB whisperer. Like, Trevor Lawrence is the guy. I think he takes the biggest leap this year. Like, he has everything around him to be successful.
Let's continue talking NFL when we get back here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. You need somebody who's going to fight for you in the courtroom, get you what you deserve. You want to get Gordon. At Get Gordon on all social media, where you can check out a lot of content with your favorite athletes. Man, there's a lot of members of the G team sitting down, speaking with Gordon about what motivates him. How about this? Also some great videos on, like, tips, what to do immediately following an accident. What are the best steps to protect yourself? And again, to get what you deserve. You want Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, 225-888-8888.
GetGordon.com, that is the website. Now, you're probably not already at your desk. It's 7:47. You're probably on your way, so you can't pick up the phone anywhere in the state of Louisiana and dial that number, dial those 8s. But if you are, for some reason, already at the cubicle, you can go to GetGordon.com, have a chat right there on the website. They can answer any question you might have. You can find past client results, cases they can handle for you. You know, on social media, at GetGordon is always the handle. Get Gordon and get it done.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The best-kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Ryan Clark, Mike Triplett, our Fantasy Blitz. We'll check in on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Ton to do. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 11:30 The Tiger.
Champ says Tua will revert to Tua form sooner rather than later. Sadly, that's flat on his back in the shadow realm. I would say this for Tua. I think it was very clear that by last year, probably the worst part of his game was trying to do too much and extending plays and taking too many hits. I think he did a much better job of that on Sunday. I guess what I'm saying is I already think he was a really damn good quarterback. And when you give a really great quarterback, okay, this is the main area you need to improve on, I'm actually going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to improve in that realm this year, maybe take less hits. To get back to what we were talking about with quarterbacks, so all the guys that just got paid and maybe struggled on Sunday, if you're a Bengals fan, you ain't sweating it. You got Joe Burrow. You know he's going to be fine. Eagles fan, I wouldn't sweat Jalen Hurts. No, you're going to be fine. Lamar, fine. We've seen all these guys be great. The Daniel Jones thing. Because, Jake, you said, you don't lose like that in the NFL, first off. Secondly, no one really wanted to pay Daniel Jones anyway. It was just the perfectly bad set of market circumstances that kind of forced the Giants' hand. And really, everyone, this is the funny part about how markets work, everyone knows Saquon is the key to the offense. Everyone knew it last year. Everyone knows it this year. It's more obvious now than ever after he doesn't play on Sunday. But the problem is you're just the market's still not going to let you pay a running back like that. And so you end up overcommitting to a quarterback, and now you just have to feel awful after you win. And again, unlike these other guys, there's no great Daniel Jones to fall back on. There's good Daniel Jones. There's okay Daniel Jones. But there's nothing.
It's not elite Daniel Jones.
No, hell no. Not even great. Yeah. I'm thinking maybe there's one Daniel Jones box score that I was like, oh man, that was really damn good. It's just, man. But you know what? That's kind of on Dayball and company. You still tied yourself to that ship for whatever it's worth, and you kind of pissed off. Do you think Saquon's actually hurt?
I don't know. I mean, his injury history's
that is true.
Pretty lengthy.
That is true. We're going to talk injury history. Did y'all see the Ochocinco Shannon Sharp bit?
No.
On their new NFL podcast they do. It's actually really good. They recap all Sunday. But just know this. We're going to play an hour 2. Ochocinco has it figured out while all these players are getting hurt.
I hadn't listened to it yet, but I did read the headline.
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's actually like 2.5, 3 minutes long, and I want to play the whole thing because it's probably my favorite audio I've ever heard.
Daniel Jones is like one of those players, like you said, T-Bob. Like, he got paid because he plays a premium position, and that's what was available out there, and they felt like they needed one. It's a lot like, so like when Andrews Pete got paid by the Saints, like the guard market was bare.
Yeah.
There just was no guards out there. The Saints needed a guard. He had already been on the team, and so you overpaid for him because of what the market was and what was available at the time. It feels like that with Daniel Jones, except way more money than Andrews Pete got to play guard for the Saints. So, I mean, you're married. You're now married together. Like, that is your guy. And Saquon Barkley is somebody that is incredibly talented. He's got all the electricity, but he's just not available as much as you need him to be available to be out there with Daniel Jones. You have some really good receivers. You traded for Darren Waller. You're trying to put pieces around him. I just don't know that he's ever going to be more than good, Daniel Jones.
It is, and whatever, I'm being a week one prisoner of the moment, but it is crazy to think that, like, they were that scared about letting Daniel Jones test the market.
Well, and you were talking like we've never had elite Daniel Jones. Like, remember how everybody last year was like, Daniel Jones was so great. It 15 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions.
I know.
Well,
and like 67%, 3,200 yards, all fine numbers. Good numbers even, but not close to great.
Well, and a lot of people say, hey, look, it's Daniel Jones' rushing ability. He had 700 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns, but he fumbled 6 times.
Okay, yeah. Still 700. That's kind of great. Okay. I'll see you, DJ. Maybe he's worth $40 million.
Deceptive.
Hour number 2, let's preview the college football
Off the
slate.
bench with Hester and T-Bob.
DraftKings Sportsbook app, man. We're going to give you a lot of bets next hour, okay? I have run the numbers. And the T-Bob guaranteed 70% win rate machine is ready to crank up and follow up what was an excellent week 1 on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. If you're a new customer, promo code Baton Rouge, you bet $5 on the NFL, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. But guys, we're all returning customers, right? Today's an NFL game day. Sunday is as well. Monday is as well. How about this? Every single NFL game day during the month of September, all customers get not 1, but 2 special offers. Now, you get a sign on the app to figure out what those offers are, but if you want, bonuses, boosts, all of that, 2 offers every game day. 21 or older must be physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms of sportsbook at DraftKings.com/football terms. Licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambler problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER 1-426-2537.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Good morning, people. It is 8 a.m. on Thursday, September 14th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 92. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Big Deal or No Big Deal to kick off the third hour, and Chef Michael Johnson joins the show at 9:15 for a new edition of Munchies. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Hour 2 of OTB. This hour, we could call college football sicko hour because we are going to tour all of college football. I also have some Nick Saban sound that I want to get to, and which I put at the top of hour 8 from a Josh Pate tweet, if you want to get that sound. And then I had that Ochocinco and Shannon Sharp sound. We're going to get to at some point this hour as well.
Shout out real quick before we do that to the Atlanta Braves. 6th straight NL East title. Brain across the hall. I hope you hear me. The Mets can spend all the money in the world. You still suck, and the Braves still win the division. All right, that's it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, that was my favorite. That was my favorite probably sports team of any sport growing up. But like, I feel like the past half decade, it's just been kind of just general osmosis. And it just feels like the Braves keep having awesome young players that get hurt, and then they're just like replaced with another awesome young player. Yes. And it's just like, and it just keeps going. And they're like, oh, we're still good. So
he's out for the year. Okay, call the other guy up.
Kind of sucks. Like, I wish I still had that MLB. You know what it is, though?
I love
Even though I've fallen back in love with the game of baseball, the MLB is just still too much.
I'll say this.
I like a little more contained. I love the SEC college baseball rhythm. It's so much easier to like process. It doesn't take over all my time. Like, I can't fathom loving an MLB team and living or dying, 3 days a week? 4 days a week for, 7-8 months?
You talking about how many games they play?
Yeah.
A lot of times it's at least 5.
Oh, God.
Most of the time 6.
Jeez. No, hell no. Hell no. Too much.
I don't, that's a good, I don't know that I love the MLB, but I love the Braves. I have the package just so I can watch the Braves.
Yeah, no, I know.
And I probably watch 2-3 innings every night.
Okay. I mean,
great background fodder.
I'm about to say that sounds not bad. Maybe just kind of.
I don't watch the whole game. Not that I used to. I used to be a real sicko.
I guess I just have two. And then I've just got too many like other BS stuff that I'm into to want to commit it to the MLB.
My cousin lives in Atlanta, and I'm a big fan of the Chop House, which is a restaurant near the stadium.
Yeah.
They have excellent garlic fries.
That is the first time that you didn't say Atlanta.
That's true.
That whole what do they call it? Like Battery
Atlanta
Park or something? Yeah, like we said, they made
Yeah,
They made a whole like strip of like bars and everything that people go to just to the city.
Man, I wish New Orleans had something like that.
Well, they do. It's called New Orleans, right? And it's all there around the Superdome. It's like
so they don't have to. They don't have to. Like T-Bob knows this better than I do.
That's a different kind of chop house.
But they built that out. Like it's in Cobb County, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not close to downtown. So it's like if you come here, we're going to build stuff around to make it cool to hang out here, not just come watch the Braves.
Yeah, New Orleans has just the actual
It
city.
has actual New Orleans.
You can just walk out and you're there. It's awesome.
All their suburbs have downtowns, downtown Marietta and downtown Midtown. It'd be cool if we had that at Metairie County. Alas.
It's a much bigger place, just in general. I mean, go look at the population numbers. That's what's kind of crazy about Georgia high school football, though, is that Georgia now, per capita, produces more D1 athletes than anybody else and has almost more people than any other state, like Texas and California, and maybe like Florida are beating them. So it's
Hartsock lives
strong.
right there in the area.
Yeah.
And he said like his county or wherever, like some radius from his house, there was like 285 Division I football players. The number was insane. It's like, like the last two classes, there's been like 285 players. I'm like, what?
Dude, I mean, that's why Kirby and Georgia with their building is so freaky. They almost have a lot of the same natural advantages that LSU does, only larger.
Much larger state. And
more so.
So it's kind of like the Dallas area and the Houston area. They have so many schools, huge schools, powerhouse that have like $15, $30 million stadiums. But the difference is Texas has so many people that come to that state to recruit. Now, Georgia does, but Georgia's always going to be king. So you're right. Like, it's the LSU effect. That LSU's going to have that advantage in Louisiana every time, 9 times out of 10 at worst. But for Texas, and you've got those areas in Dallas and Houston, so many schools are in that backyard trying, Oklahoma and LSU and all these people trying to come into that state. That's what makes Georgia different, is the fact that they're going to have at least the first conversation with all of those players. And other teams, Auburn and Alabama and others, Clemson, will come in and take some players. But
well, I mean, they can't have them all.
They can't have them all, right? There is too many. But, man, what an advantage that is for Kirby and his staff to be able to I mean, that area, since you came out of high school, how much is that area blown up?
Yeah, no, it's wild. I don't want to talk about it. It's depressing. Let's get into something else depressing. The Week 3 college football slate. Sorry, I'm getting triggered by some guy on Twitter who's not understanding my point that I'm making about. If you've heard me say this week that I thought it was like that Mississippi State ran the ball in the way that Ole Miss or Tennessee runs the ball, I don't mean that they run it ineffectively. What I mean is they run it deadly effectively, just out of true spread attacks that threaten you through the air and create light boxes. Mississippi State just runs it. All right. Give me a little NFL Films music here, maybe. I mean, I wish we had a Thursday play tonight, but between Bethune-Cookman, Miami, Navy, Memphis, I don't know. I'm gonna watch NFL tonight. Friday, Virginia, Maryland.
Nah, bro.
Army, UTSA. Is that where you're at?
Army, UTSA could be a decent game. Both had losses in week number 1. Army to UL Monroe and UTSA to Houston, but still good football teams with good players. Good to relevant to who they play and what conference they play in.
Give me a little NFL Films music there, Mario. So again, the best way to watch this weekend is going to be with gambling. So let's maybe get into some picks here. LSU minus 9.5 at Mississippi State. I'm playing LSU minus 9.5. It is the first LSU bet that I've placed in a long time. Why are you shaking your head, Taylor?
Because I don't bet on LSU.
I don't either.
That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm done with that this season, too.
I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I ain't doing it.
I don't, because I do the podcast for him still, so I feel like, it's a little greasy. So I still don't. But if I was to bet, I'd probably take LSU.
If you're not taking LSU, well, then we're not properly presenting this game. Because every conversation we've had about this matchup would speak to LSU winning this game by double digits.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State, minus 14.5 at Illinois. See if Drew Aller can continue to build on the hype train. Haven't really thought about that much since a week 1 win over WVU. I mean, how do we feel about Illinois? A fun last year, a good story to get behind.
That Kansas team they ran into, it's a little bit of a buzzsaw on Friday
Kansas
night.
is great. Kansas is great. Jalen Daniels is legitimately good. They returned everybody. They got a good passers. I'm not using, but the problem is like Penn State's kind of a buzzsaw too, right?
It could be, yeah. I mean, it's at Illinois though, and not at Kansas.
True.
I can see this being a 14-point game. Penn State.
So if you were playing this, you would take Illinois?
If I was playing, I'd take Illinois because of the hook.
Okay. There you go. Florida State at Boston College. FSU minus 26.
Take it.
I want to.
Boston College is horrible.
Yeah, right? Like, no, I was about to say, I think I really want to take FSU to cover here.
Oh, no,
At
no
26.
doubt. Boston College should have lost to Holy Cross last week. They did lose to Northern Illinois. Florida State took care of business against Southern Miss, who is a better football team than Boston College. It was like, 66 to something?
Yeah.
21? Florida State. Actually, let me write that down while you're talking.
Kansas State -4 at Mizzou. One of the best matchups of the weekend. Kansas State won this game pretty handily last year, or was it close?
Yeah, 42-10.
Okay, right? To be honest, I don't know a ton about either of these teams this year.
All right, so Kansas State last year, 42-10, and I caught up with Eli Drinkwitz, the Missouri head coach, at the Senior Bowl, at spring meetings, and media day. In all three interviews, he talked about this game. All three. Like, not me asking him, but he brought up
Kleeman,
this game.
you said, or no? Which coach you said?
Drink.
Okay, Drinkwitz. Okay.
He brought up this game because they were embarrassed, and they felt like there was no way they should put that kind of performance out there. So all of that's great that they're focusing on that, but also, like, when you look at who Kansas State is, they beat the hell out of Troy last week. Like, everybody's like, oh, man, look out for this spot. They said, no, we're good. We got this.
Pretty good game early. Troy had the longest winning streak in the nation entering the game.
Yeah, and Kansas State outlasted Troy, and they ran away with that game. I love Drink. I think Missouri is a team that is, going to be bowl eligible. They're going to win some games they probably shouldn't, but it's not going to be this one. I think Kansas State rolls in this one. I think they win by 10.
Even at home? Even Mizzou at home?
Yeah. If it was like
M-I-Z-Z-O-U?
Yeah, if it was like Florida going to Como in November, then yeah, that matters. Like when you have a situation where you have that advantage, K-State's not going to – it's 68 degrees. That's the weather there in Como for this game at kickoff. I like Kansas State, and I like them to win, certainly by 3.5.
Okay. I don't like any of y'all in the chat right now. Well, T-Bob just effed us. Take state straight up, says another. The T-Bob kiss of death jinx. T-Bob guaranteed an LSU loss on the road. Carly saying the thigh of death. Also, Carly just wanting to really be mean. Look how tiny his thigh makes his hand look. Okay. Y'all better calm down because this band hammer's about to start coming out. And also, how about you'll stop being cowards? Okay? If you're afraid to take LSU -9.5, that's fine. Okay? What I see is a vastly superior team on both lines of scrimmage. Okay? And so I'm going to trust LSU to win this game and to win big. I'm not going to run scared like y'all are. Okay? So get the hell out of here, dude. But yeah, my thigh did make my hands look kind of small. I didn't like it. I think that's why I'm getting triggered here. All right, so that's the early. Oh, no, one more on the early slate. South Carolina in Samford. Georgia -27.5.
South Carolina, you talk about peaks and valleys with a team. You just never know which one you're going to get. It's like the old box of chocolates from Forrest Gump. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
I mean, they're look. I've been impressed with Spencer Rattler, but it's hard for me to.
Yeah, but he's got the bomb squad in front of him.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the problem. It's just impossible for me to separate watching UNC just like demolish that offensive line. Just absolutely.
Now UGA is not, gone out there and just completely dominated either one of the games that they played in, but this is an SEC game. It's in Athens, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a big number.
Spencer Rattler has 83% completion, 700 yards, 11 yards per attempt, 10.6. 3 touchdowns, no picks in the year.
And that is, again, while running for his life against North Carolina.
So I would say this. I'm not going to play this one. Too big of a spread. And like with Spencer Rattler playing like that, it's maybe like, and I still don't know what to make of Georgia. Because also, if you talk to a Georgia fan, they hate Mike Bobo. Like, they think he's awful. So I'm staying away from this one. But the only thing that I find interesting about this game, Jake, is what does it feel like being a quarterback knowing you're probably going to get murdered? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to bed on Friday night, and you know at 11 a.m. Saturday, all these 5-star NFL first-rounders from the Georgia front seven are going to be crunching your ribs, landing on your shoulders,
well, even
hurting
worse,
your neck, blindsiding.
It's not even 11 a.m. It's a 2:30 Central, 3:30.
Oh, I thought it was 11.
It's a 3:30 Eastern time CBS game. So not only is that going to happen, but the world's going to see it.
I mean, it's like one of those
CBS
questions.
slot.
Like, do you legitimately get like a little scared? I mean, I know you can't be scared.
Well, I mean,
but...
who was it? Geno last week? Geno Smith. That when Aaron Donald was coming after him.
Oh my God!
Man, literally said, "Oh my God."
I mean, which we laugh, but isn't that the most natural human reaction?
Yes, I did that just
said.
now when there was a YouTube ad for one of the memes.
Oh my God! I would yell more if Aaron Donald was coming after me to kill me. So,
sweet mother of God.
Are you going to play this game?
I'll probably stay away from it, but if I was to play it, I would probably, just because of the number, if it got up to 28, certainly South Carolina, I can see a backdoor situation where they're down 28 and, get a late score, 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then Georgia takes the air out of the ball.
Yeah, because Georgia also does not give an F about coverage.
No, they're not trying to go out there. They'll take the air out with 4 minutes left. They'll just run 4-minute offense, and they'll get first downs because of Georgia. They'll lean on you, and I can see them winning by 21.
God, Kirby's got an all-time accent, doesn't he? Every time he talks,
Slay
I'm
now.
struck by it.
Hey,
he said Georgia country. I'd have to hear it again to try to do it. Patrick Vines, to be fair, LSU has the talent on the O-line D-line to be better than Florida State, and they didn't play like it again. Not really. Like you can make the like they were basically I just don't understand why everybody thinks you were just so much better than Florida State. You were not, from a talent standpoint. We told you that both groups were ranked in the top 10 in the country. They were basically even. And I think you got out scheme. Whatever. We all know how that game went down. But my point is that again, and that's I think why I feel so confident on it, Jake, is after watching so much of LSU FSU, it really deep diving Mississippi State, Arizona was like, okay, yeah. Oh, I forgot. This is what normal college teams look like. Like they're not full of just monster NFL caliber behemoths all over the field.
I got a lot. After 2 weeks going into week 3, I've got a lot of respect for Florida State after what I've seen on tape.
Yes.
And I've probably watched in their entirety, let's see, probably 25 games. All 22.
Oh, hell yeah.
And by far, the most impressive so far to me has been Florida State.
When you're watching, do you kind of keep it moving? I struggle with, I just get bogged down. It took me an hour and a half to watch Mississippi State, Arizona.
If I'm watching something like LSU, then yeah, I get bogged down. If I'm
no,
watching
but
Mississippi
I'm saying
State,
if you're just watching a random game.
I let it ride.
Okay.
Yeah, I let it ride.
I'm a little too slow on my film review. I still have to be wait, what? Okay, I got to get those muscles up. All right, so when we get back, let's continue to give you our best plays of the week. So I feel out of that segment, I feel Florida State minus the 26 emerged as our best bet.
Yeah.
Is that
fair?
fair?
I think so. For me, it is.
Maybe this is part of Row the Boat Friday? Row the Boat Bet of the Week maybe on Friday? We'll see. All right, there it is. We'll continue to break down Saturday next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin. Plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep. and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Through and have your tailgate catered by Government Taco.
Because what football fan doesn't love tacos?
Choose your meats, choose your sides, choose Government Taco's signature salsa, queso, and chips.
And all Government Taco catering orders come with jack cheese, pickled red onions, and flour or corn tortillas. Plus, you can order Government Taco's famous margaritas by the gallon or half gallon.
Throw a tailgate, everyone will taco bout.
From Government Taco. Visit govttaco.com to start your tailgate order today.
That's govttaco.com.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-12674. Offices in Baton Rouge. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch live from downtown. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar and Town Square Pizza. It's live at lunch Thursday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Live at lunch, live from Jolie Pearl and Town Square Pizza on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo! What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Rolling through our best bets. I love this board, Jake. The more we talked about it, I am in love with this board. Bets that were just placed during the break. LSU minus the 9.5. Florida State minus the 26. Game we haven't talked about yet. I like North Carolina minus 7.5 at home against Minnesota. And I know UNC's a sketchy team when it comes to trusting them to cover spreads, and I feel that. But after what? Okay, so law of transitive sports properties, which is always very flawed, but let's do it anyway. Give me some NFL films. They're in all these gambling stuff. I just want a little undercurrent of juice. Minnesota and Nebraska was a damn good game. Okay. But look at what happened to Nebraska when they had to defend an elite quarterback. I guess what I'm saying is like Minnesota and Nebraska appear to be equal. Colorado smashed Nebraska. I feel like Drake May should, and I think App State's good. And look at what they did against South Carolina. Like Drake May and UNC, I believe, should be able, because if I'm thinking, okay, how does UNC lose this game? Because Minnesota's offense has a ton of success. I don't think Calic Manis is that guy. Like, I don't think he's going to be able to keep pace. And so I just boil down football to just the difference in quarterbacks, and the difference between Drake May and Nathan Calic Manis is enough to push me to UNC covering the 7.5.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at home. I don't hate it for North Carolina to bounce back. I think they have the more dynamic playmakers. Last week it's one of those matchups. That is a tough matchup for North Carolina. That is 2 years in a row that has been an absolute dogfight. And so I'd like them to bounce back. I don't know that I'll play this game, but I don't hate the number.
Okay, so other games in this slate. This is a true sicko matchup here. This would highlight this hour. Virginia Tech at Rutgers. One of the only small spread Power Fives on Power Fives. Bad on bad. I know nothing about this game. I will watch this game. It'll occupy one of the squares on the screen, but I'm not going to play this game.
I actually like Rutgers. I watched Rutgers against Northwestern. I watched them again against Temple. Two bad football teams, but they went out there, took care of business. 24-7, 36-7, I believe, was the second game against Temple. They've actually got some juice on offense, and so I would go with Rutgers. Now, I don't know that I'm going to sit there and spend my time watching this contest, but I think Rutgers is the better football team. They're well coached. No surprise there. They play hard. No surprise there. And I like them even with the touchdown number there.
Now, here's actually kind of a legitimately sexy looking game, though maybe it won't end up being that close. And that's Washington -16 on the road in East Lansing against Michigan State. This is a perfect opportunity for the Huskive. Excuse me. I'm crossing my streams here. For us Husky boys to continue to build championship hype, to continue to build Heisman hype. I think Washington's significantly better than Michigan State. If you remember last year, it was this game in which Washington kind of announced themselves to the world. I think they were underdogs in this game last year. And I think Michigan State was ranked at the time.
They were. I know they were ranked for sure.
And then we quickly learned, oh, wait, no, Mel Tucker's actually awful. The only thing that scares me from playing this -16 here, Jake, because I do think Washington has the best weapons in the country. Michael Penix are significantly better. I just hate the interim coach effect here.
Yeah.
Where, like, if that team hated Mel Tucker, which outside looking in, he's such a hard ass that it appears like, like that works when you're winning. But if you're not winning and you're that hard ass D head kind of guy, like that can kind of start to, the players can start to turn you a little bit. I'm just worried that they're going to kind of galvanize around the fact that he's out of there. And so I think I'm going to stay away here.
Yeah, I'm staying away. It's a big number. Even if Mel Tucker was still the coach, it's a big number. Washington's the better football team without question. I think Washington right now looks like a top 5 football team in the country. But giving up, you're talking about a lot of points. That's 3 scores, right at 2 scores, obviously, and it could change on the road against a team that's 2-0. They've got good players, not great players. I think Washington wins, but that's just too big of a number for me. I'll stay away.
All right, and then maybe the best mixture of brands and spread on the entire table. Tennessee at Florida and a sub 7-point spread here. Tennessee only favored by 6.5 going on the road in the Swamp here.
Stinky a little bit.
Very stinky. So stinky that I'm out.
Tennessee has not won in the Swamp since 2003. And so I think Eric Ainge lost twice. Jonathan Crompton lost one. Nathan Peterman lost one. Garantano Artano, I forget which one he settled on. He lost a couple.
Ahsoka Tano.
Joshua Dobbs. So you had a ton of quarterbacks that had a lot of college success that went into the Swamp and lost
Billy got to have this one, man.
He's sure the back's against the wall.
And you think how bad Tennessee? Excuse me. You think we know and we've seen how bad Florida's been this year, but this spread should tell you what the odds makers think of Tennessee this year.
Yeah, for
not
sure.
overly impressed.
That and man, Florida's got to win this game. This is like a must-win game because
Yeah.
they got road games at Kentucky, at South Carolina, at LSU. So you have to take advantage of being in the swamp. We know that you're playing Georgia and Jacksonville, so obviously that's not going to be a home game for either team. It's always a neutral site game, so you lose one every year, and I believe this would have been their rotation of home games. So you got to win it. You have to find a way if you're Florida to win this game.
Ashley Megan in the chat says Florida needs to win that. If Tennessee wins, Napier's on the hot seat for real. But here's the thing. Now, Florida's not going to tank because Billy Napier needs to win. But I don't know if Florida fans are going to be terribly upset if Billy Napier does awful the next few years, because all that means is that you got Coach Prime coming 2 years from now. Prime to Florida, that would be uncool. That would not. I mean, again, prisoner of the moment. I recognize it. Maybe we feel differently in a few months. But how powerful would Prime to Florida be?
There's a couple of programs that he would make a lot of sense at. That's certainly one of them.
I know. Who else would you throw in there? A&M? Didn't really feel like a fit. I mean, he can make it work anywhere. Don't get me wrong. Like, obviously, if you can make it work in Colorado, you can make it work anywhere. A&M's just a little too culty, a little too lame, a little too cheesy.
Too culty.
Florida's got a little bit of that edge, a little bit of that prime. He's got Florida roots. It'd be a big FU to Florida State.
It would be.
He's already been on the, basically saying that.
Yeah, would Miami? Would that be?
Yeah.
Would that make sense?
Well,
for
unless but prisoner of the moment I think I was wrong about Christopher.
I'm not even talking about him. Like, I'm just trying to think of places that I feel like he would be a match at.
He could match Miami, but again, I don't think I think Miami still small private school, bad stadium, weird campus setup. I just don't think it's like I don't think it's got a lot of the advantages of the end. And Florida's about to have elite facilities.
Yeah.
Everything else.
Florida feels like the play.
That'd be so annoying, dude. How uncool would you feel? And look, I love BK. I'm a Cult of Kelly believer. I trust the process. But in just pure cool factor, you would feel like the nerdy dad with like your phone belt clip and your socks and sandals, and Prime's out here like, I don't know, riding around the Escalade, just looking cool as hell with his shades on all the time.
Speaking of Dion in Florida.
You drive a minivan, it's great gas mileage.
Right.
Okay?
That's
okay?
right.
And
Can he
safe.
press a button in carpool?
Nope. I got 3 different buttons I can press.
And Joey Molinaro
Escalade's unrealistic.
impersonates you at a bar.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, you mean the Taylor impersonation?
Okay, so I thought the video was hilarious. What part of it actually reminded you of
All
me?
of it.
All of it. What do you mean? Okay, we can get into that hour 3.
Okay.
We'll play the Joey Molinaro video and then explain the
back
joke.
to Dion in Florida. I feel like it's been a big topic. I don't know how the rift between him and Florida State started.
It started at that press conference.
No.
I know that he mentioned he graduated from an HBCU, and
yeah, but I feel like there was something before he got to Colorado. Is what I'm saying.
Graduate from there.
I'm with Taylor. I think he, which I guess he did graduate.
I feel like it's been like a couple years now, but I don't remember how it started.
I think it's just that they maybe didn't give him a chance to be the head coach. I mean, is it that simple?
It could be.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe there's more. Maybe he didn't feel like he's gotten. Look, a lot of former. Never doubt an ability's former ass. Never doubt an athlete's ability, a former great athlete's ability to be angry at their old school for not, maybe treating them the right way.
I was just wondering because I was like, I feel like it's gotten like a big thing. Like,
it's definitely getting steam.
He said something, and then like somebody from Florida State said something too, and I was like, how did it start?
I don't know. But they better be careful because what about last one here. Prime to Bama, the Affleck handoff. Right. Little. What do they say? Like when you're sick and out of work or whatever, they help you out. Okay. Well, when your Hall of Fame coach retires, there's Prime.
Just my opinion, could be wrong. I don't see that happening. I think the people at Alabama in charge of that kind of thing would find a way to turn up their nose and say they're too good for Dion.
The logic that everybody uses, and so I ask you today, all subject to change, but I ask you today, who else?
I don't know. Not Dion. Somebody objectively.
Find me the coach that
because
for
Bama, you can't go get Kirby. Kirby played at Georgia. He ain't leaving Georgia.
Not Dabo anymore.
I mean, the popular answer's Dabo. I mean, the obvious connection.
Not anymore, bro. Alabama fans, like the rest of the country, are 1,000% out on Dabo. You're crazy. You're crazy if you think Dabo would be the guy.
I don't know.
After he's proven to not keep up. No, that's all.
Somebody between now and then can maybe rise and paint themselves as an up and comer, sexy.
That's not the question that I'm asking. Though. That's what I'm saying. Because this is the thought exercise. Is that's everybody's first reaction, mine included, is like Alabama would turn their nose up at that. But then who else? There is no other guy right now.
I personally think they would go. I think they would go. I think they would go Dabo over Deion.
That's
I really do.
That's not the craziest.
Well, I mean, Sark's spent time in Alabama. I'm just saying.
No, I know, but if you bring back Texas, then why would you be like, oh, I'm gonna go follow Nick Saban?
Yeah. Your boy, Christopher Rod. He's been there a long time. I know Miami's like his spot. He left Oregon.
Maybe.
Just curious how much money Alabama would throw at
Elko keeps his train rolling.
That was the guy I was thinking. If Duke does good for 2 more seasons, let's say Duke wins 9 games this year and ups it to 10 next year, and then Saban retires.
Has
in 2
had
years.
success in the conference as a coordinator already.
Yeah,
not the craziest.
Yeah,
you know who feels like so Alabama head coach, but again, like he's at his home place, so he's not leaving his Harbaugh.
Yeah, I can see it, but no, he
ain't leaving Michigan. No. That's the thing. Like you've got Harbaugh at Michigan, you've got Kirby at Georgia, you got Cristobal at Miami. Like these coaches are where they play. They ain't leaving.
Yeah, Riley, he's not going anywhere.
Who wants to follow Saban?
No.
Too. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll never be that guy.
Yeah.
You're going to be in that guy's shadow.
I've got.
That's where maybe the bright light of Prime actually makes sense. Is he's one of the only ones that could take on that spotlight and outshine it.
Yeah. Like, they could go outside the box, too, like Cal Whittingham.
Okay, so I thought about that. I was like, he's been there a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, like, he ain't going to be fazed by Saban and what Saban did before. Man, that guy's going to coach his butt off, or like a Lance Leipold or like a Chris Kleiman, like one of those type coaches.
Okay.
Where they would not be fazed, man. They're just the humble beginnings, where they started. They're grinders. Like, I could see something like that.
Yeah. It'll be fascinating.
One more spot for Coach Prime that I think he would just crush it at, and I don't think y'all will agree. North Carolina.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he would crush it at North Carolina.
North Carolina is like Colorado, only more so.
Well,
they're better. I think they have better geographical advantages. The campus is still awesome. Like, yeah, if he can do it at Colorado, he could kill it.
A thought I had was like, if Alabama for some reason did pull the trigger and hired Dabo, what if Deion went to Clemson?
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I just don't.
Yeah.
Again, Alabama's not hiring Dabo, bro. There's no way. There is no way.
Why not, though?
Ooh, what about?
Because he's fallen off.
Has he?
Yes.
He won 10 games last year. We're judging that because
he still having the same conversation?
He might have a bad season this year.
No, it's because he's not changing with college football in the times. That's what T-Bob's talking about. And he's not willing to do it.
Why would Alabama catch a falling knife? That's investing 101. You don't want to buy when everybody's like bailing. I mean, I guess buy low, maybe you do. I don't know.
I think
a lot of people saying Lane's got to do something at Ole Miss, dude. He's got to do something at Ole Miss. Everybody's buying into it again. We'll see if it's true.
That's fair. Won 8 games last year. A lot of people think they won 11.
People talking about Deion wanting an NFL job. Maybe. I don't know that I think so, though.
I think he's perfect for college.
Well, I think too, why he does it. I take him at face value. Perfect. I think he does it because of the kids. Like, I legitimately think he gets real value out of helping these kids become men and, teaching them.
I mean, I think he is perfect for the college game. His personality, the way the kids enjoy being around him, how he can sell a brand and a program. Like, in the NFL, like, you're limited in some of those spaces. Like, the relationship's just completely different.
Well, not only that, like right now, what's Deion's best attribute? It's probably his recruiting.
Yeah.
I mean, in the NFL, like, how would his game and personality
he would get free agents,
to the NFL?
but there's just not as many. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You have to hope there's a free agent at the position. Like we talked about earlier with Daniel Jones, right? You don't get to choose when someone's a free agent. Sometimes it doesn't work out.
Oh, my God. I can't believe they paid Daniel Jones $40 million. Ooh, boy.
Wasn't it like a 5-year deal?
I mean, just insane. All right, when we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's going on, y'all? Do you love tequila? Well, guess what? I do, too. You all know this, right? I drink tequila constantly. It is my drink of choice at home. If you catch me at Don Juan, that's what I'm drinking. And that's why I was so excited to learn, taste, and hear about Noel Family Distillery's first ever Louisiana tequila. Now, Natalie Noel went down to Mexico, designed the flavor profiles there in Mexico with what she thought kind of represented Louisiana, slightly sweet, approachable, robust cooked agave flavors. And it's interesting. They ended up using like kind of a blend of lowland and highland agave to make it. But the bottom line is this is a tequila fashioned in Mexico, but made by Louisiana, with Louisiana at heart. And trust me, all the Reposado, the Blanco, I've had them. They are delicious. Noel Family Distillery, they're in Downsville. You can go tour the facility if you want. It's a great time. Noel Family Distillery, the official tequila of LSU Athletics.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on select new 23 Ford F-150 trucks. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
We do this by supporting 20,000 Louisiana businesses and their workers and launching innovative new initiatives. But we cannot do this work alone. We hope you would join us in celebrating our great state and elevating Louisiana's position in America. Together, we can be Louisiana Loyal. Learn more at lwcc.com/Louisiana Loyal.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Rouse's Luke Johnson, talking Saints, and Stefan Krajnik from the Jackson Clarion Ledger, talking Mississippi State Bulldogs. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
through these final games here. Northern Illinois and Nebraska. Northern Illinois is good. I'm not going to play this game. Nebraska favored by 11. But Nebraska's finally going to get that first win in the Matt Rule era. Here it goes.
Northern Illinois, didn't they lose after they beat Boston College?
I believe they did.
Yeah. Were you just saying they were good so it doesn't look as bad if they beat Nebraska?
No, I'm saying they have made a habit of getting paid to beat good teams, right? Northern Illinois lost to Southern Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
After beating Boston College. Yeah, hammer Florida State minus 26.
All right. Georgia Tech and Ole Miss is kind of interesting here. Jake, Georgia Tech plus 18 is one of my plays this weekend.
Okay.
You know why?
Tell me everything.
Haynes King. Haynes King has actually been kind of awesome for Georgia Tech. Now, they didn't play anybody, but how does this sound? 65% completion, 300 yards a game, 10 yards per attempt, 7 tuds, 1 pick. I think Ole Miss still is kind of fraudulent. They'll probably put up 1 million, but I think they're going to give up enough. Yeah. Give me Tech plus the 18.
Ooh.
In Oxford.
I don't know about that one.
All right, coward. Why don't you go hotty-toddy somewhere?
No, I just don't know enough about Georgia Tech right now.
Haynes King.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Oh, wow, he's there.
Longview, Texas.
Yeah, that's what I
Longview
was
Lobo.
just talking about. He's playing awesome.
Beat Alabama once.
What?
He beat Alabama once.
Yep. True. Did you remember that?
I did.
Okay.
He actually didn't.
That wasn't him.
Zach Calzada was the starter in that game.
True.
Didn't Haynes play, though? Or was he?
I think
Didn't he get hurt in
Calzada
that
started
game?
that game.
I thought
True.
Haynes
I'll
got.
check. Let me look.
True. God, I remember how many times Aaron talked about how high he held the ball. I was like, yeah, okay.
I too like spreading misinformation.
Yeah, but he can ball now. I mean, he's balling now. All right. Well, you're a coward.
I'll take it.
Whatever.
No, Calzada played the whole game.
BYU and Arkansas. Arkansas favored by 8.5. BYU hasn't looked particularly impressive. Arkansas's looked all right.
Oh, BYU's been horrendous running the football.
I'm not
which is
touching
shocking.
this game. Not touching it. You like Arkansas minus 8.5, it sounds like?
Rocket Sanders isn't playing in the game.
Not touching. Nope.
Arkansas was clunky against Kent State.
Syracuse Purdue. Why can't I say this?
Purdue.
I don't know anything about these teams. It's again though one of the only Power 5 matchups with a tiny spread. Syracuse favored by 2.5.
In the Carrier Dome.
Nope.
Ooh, on the road.
In West Lafayette.
Ooh.
Purdue home dogs. Will it bark?
So Syracuse has looked good, but they've played Colgate and Western Michigan. So I don't really know what I can take from that. I'll take the Boilermakers with some Prince.
Okay, finally here, real quick. The backyard brawl's back, boys.
I know. How about that? And we
Pittsburgh,
hadn't
West
talked
Virginia.
about it.
West Virginia favored by 1. Here's a hard and fast rule. Neil Brown should never be favored. Go with Narduzzi. Easy money.
Narduzzi. They made a comeback against Cincinnati, and Dracovic played awful for Pitt at the quarterback position. Still almost found a way to win.
Don't even think about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to go with Neil Brown.
Pittsburgh.
Should be disappointed.
Pittsburgh over West Virginia. I'm betting this one too. I'm playing it. I'm playing my 2 dogs. Pittsburgh +1, and like I said, Georgia Tech plus 18.
I got to get this one in there before we break. Wyoming and Texas. Texas is at home. It's in Austin. It's in DK.
Oh, yeah, good call.
DKR. 30 points. 30 points. 4 touchdowns. Texas is a favorite here. Remember, Wyoming beat Texas Tech to begin the year. Now, that was in Laramie, altitude, highest stadium in the country, all of that. But still, 30 points. There's going to be some hangover effect from beating Alabama on the road. Wyoming is the perfect team to take advantage of that, right? Their head football coach, he was molded at North Dakota State, right? He's going to have Coach Bull is going to have his team ready to go. They don't win the game, but they covered the 30 points against Wyoming. I like this one for the Cowboys to cover.
I mean, I've been trying to tell y'all Texas is soft, okay? And you don't change that in 1 week. Not compared to the toughness of the mountains of Wyoming. Jackson Hole. I don't know. I thought I had something.
Yeah.
I felt like I was cooking something up.
Yeah.
And then it burnt.
Yeah.
More OTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K2ZBlinds.com. Now, that website is KTOZBlinds.com. And if you need any blinds, shutters, shades, drapery, any window coverings, latest tech, whatever style you want K to Z Windows.
Yeah, they came out to the house yesterday, and Katie
yeah.
said it was a great experience. And Brandon showed up, and she's like, yeah, he had his ladder. He had, like, all of his tools and everything ready to go. She's like, okay, it's going to be a nice little process, whatever. She said it took 4 minutes. Took 4 minutes to take a measurement, to give the options. And she's like, there's so many different, like, I didn't even think about this, T-Bob. Like, for the shade that comes down that we talked about over the last couple of weeks to protect you from UV rays and bugs and all that in your outdoor space, I just assumed, like, it'd be black. That'd be no, she had like 50 different colors that it could be. It can match whatever your house is. I mean, I'm blown away with the customer service as well, and very excited. Cannot wait to report back on everything that they're doing for us at our house. K2ZBlinds.com, 225-791-1220.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on select new 23 Ford F-150 trucks. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Call in Baton Rouge. I'm what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP or 2.9% for 72 months on all new 23 Ram 1500 trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com.
Tune in this Sunday for our noon kickoff. The Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Immediately following that, the New York Jets will travel to the Dallas Cowboys. And then our nightcap, the Miami Dolphins against the New England Patriots. Catch all 3 of those games here on 104.5 ESPN.
.104.5 ESPN and Acura Baton Rouge are teaming up to honor our military and raise funds for Folds of Honor. This nonprofit organization provides scholarships to the spouses and children of soldiers who were killed or disabled in service. To donate to this important cause, visit our website at 1045ESPN.com. Everyone who makes a donation will be entered to win exclusive prizes, Folds of Honor to honor their sacrifice and educate their legacy.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 11:30 The Tiger.
All right, Jake, any other plays? I know there's some okay games late, but nothing really jumped off the slate to me. You got any other plays here?
So you've got the Colorado State matchup. Game day, big noon kickoff show. Going to be there, even though it's not a noon kick. It's going to be a late boy. 10 Eastern time on ESPN. 23.5. I don't know enough about Colorado State to feel good one way or the other.
Yeah. No. Oh, okay. Here's things I know about Colorado State. They have
Alex Van Pelt was quarterback one time.
This cat named Ethan Erickson, who was last year became the world's strongest man at 265.
Okay.
He started benching 225 at 11 years old. They have a sumo wrestler, Hiratoro Hanada.
Okay.
Who's a 6'1", 280-pound former gold medal heavyweight from the 2022 World Games.
Okay.
He's just learning how to play American football, though. Just showed up this summer. They have two tribesmen from the South Sudan, Boumjak and Noor Gaktuth. They were both refugees fleeing the Civil War growing up. Now, they've kind of grown up playing more football. They have a 31-year-old father of three who has a house in the suburbs as their kicker, Jordan Noyes.
I was going to ask if he was a kicker.
I don't know how he makes money. He's 31. I don't know, but he's a father of three.
He's got NIL deals, man.
And then they have an openly gay defensive lineman, Kenny McDowell, which, seems like it's pretty chill. So maybe the most eclectic team in all of college football, your Colorado State Rams.
Dude, props to you for knowing all that, because you knew that, super fast.
Well, I just read a very interesting article on The Athletic this morning.
You, threw those out.
No, I know nothing.
You're
Colorado's
the
probably
Colorado Rams beat reporter.
It's just crazy. What an eclectic. Jay Norvell's the head coach.
Yeah, coming over from Nevada.
I don't know. I figured you. That's why I was tossing it to you. I don't know.
Coming from Nevada. Yeah, he's uphill battle. 3-9 a year ago.
Go Rams.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Actually, it's Sco Buffs because I do have my shirts coming in sometime soon. Sco Buffs at Patient Plus. Patient Plus Urgent Care. Patient Plus UC.com. You need to get in and get better. You need Patient Plus. You can look quality care for life's unexpected moments. For you, the kids, for whoever. The first time you go, you're going to create that digital profile. The next time you go, you just tippy-tap on an iPad, and you're signed in. It's really just a seamless process. And it speaks to the technology and the investment in Patient Plus, and it's the investment in the facilities, the excellent employees. You've just never had as seamless, as smooth, as quality of an experience of what you get from Patient Plus Urgent Care. PatientPlusUC.com.
In the top right corner on that website, T-Bob just gave you, remember you can schedule your visit, so they're waiting on you when you get there, but sometimes you don't have that ability, but it's okay. Still going to be convenient for you. There's a convenient location near you. In the Baton Rouge area, walk-ins are always welcome. PatientPlusUC.com. Get in and get better.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Thursday, September 14th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 92. Coming up on OTBOT, we have a new edition of Big Deal or No Big Deal coming up next. And Chef Michael Johnson joins the show at 9:15 for a new edition of Munchies. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz at Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Tulane over didn't hit last week, huh? It's crazy. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Oh, TB, T-Bob, Jake, Taylor, Mario, hanging out with you. My final plays are as follows, boys. Georgia Tech plus 19, Pittsburgh plus the 1, Wyoming plus 28.5 for my dogs. And then I got Duke minus 19, UNC minus 7.5. How about that? A little ACC basketball special. FSU minus 26, LSU minus 9.5. There you go. Those are the OTB plays. Jake, have you committed to your plays yet?
The 3 I think I like the most. Duke minus 18.5 versus Northwestern. Wyoming plus 30 at Texas. Florida State minus 26 at Boston College.
How about Carly Woodard saying in the chat that she turned $10 of her personal money in her DraftKings account last year into now 500 plus. Shout out, dude. That's how it's done. Just slowly but surely building that nut. Now you need to go put 500 on LSU this weekend. That's how you make the big money. Then you immediately double up. All right now it's time for some big deal or no big deal.
Big deal. Ain't no big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal. No big deal. No big deal. And it is a big deal.
Oh, man. I'm going to do one that I just got a text 10 seconds ago. It's a 0 in that volume there.
Sorry.
Jay Norvell, what are we doing? Big deal or no big deal? Jay Norvell told this to just put this quote out there into the ether. That's the Colorado State head coach. Quote, I sat down with ESPN today. I took my hat off and I took my glasses off. And I said, when I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and glasses off. That's what my mother taught me.
Seems like a shot.
Seems like a shot. Who do you think he's talking about?
Maybe Coach
Okay,
Brown?
I am adding
Jacob
Colorado minus the 23.5 to my play.
I don't wear glasses, though.
Immediately.
Hat for sure.
Fair.
I just, golly. After all the disrespect, it's personal, everything from the Nebraska game. Gene Norvell, what are we doing out here? We just gave you credit for putting together such an eclectic, funny team, and now you're just going to go invite the wrath of Shadur? You're done, dude. You're done. Adding Colorado to the play. Big deal or no big deal? They said that.
That's a big deal because I think that's exactly what they were looking for.
I mean, it's
they have shown that
unbelievable.
they will use the bulletin board material. So, yeah, it's a big deal. Bells?
Yeah, big deal. It would be a bigger deal if Colorado State won somehow, but it is a big deal.
All right, who's next?
The NCAA received violent threats in the wake of denying North Carolina receiver Tez Walker eligibility. Big deal or no big deal?
I mean, I don't know how you violently threaten an organization, but the Tez Walker stuff's so ridiculous, man. I don't, again, two things can be true. Rules can be technically broken, and yet at the end of the day, an organization that is supposed to protect student athletes should make the decision that is like that adults in the room say, you know what? Logically, we can look at this, and while a rule technically may have been broken, it was kind of in a weird way that it got broken, and this catch should be. I think it's absolutely absurd. I think the NCAA looks horrible here. So no big deal on the violent threats front, but screw the NCAA. Pathetic. Just proving more and more why nobody likes you.
Yeah, no sympathy for them. I liked Matt Brown's quote about the whole thing. Really his quotes throughout the entire investigation, but the way he just eviscerated him after they denied his eligibility altogether. Bad. No big deal at the end of the day. NCAA is going to NCAA.
Yeah, I would say no big deal. Like you said, T-Bob, I don't know how you threaten an organization. I don't know who you're specifically threatening there. Also, though, like, if we remember, the original reason was, oh, well, he's a two-time transfer. You can't play immediately with two-time transfers. I'm pretty sure that, Tate Martell was, like, eligible everywhere he went, and he transferred, like, 4 times.
JT Daniels.
So, yeah, it's all
yeah, JT Daniels. I mean, we talked about it the other day. He played at Texas 3 times at 3 different schools. Like, you can't enforce the rule on some people, not others. It's NCAA's being dumb.
Well,
but
the
no
problem
big
with
deal.
those other ones are they were technically within the rules because they got waivers or graduates. So they technically, those are within the rules. My point is the NCAA looks really stupid for incurring so much bad PR on a technicality when they don't have to be married to these rules that they made up if there's extenuating circumstances that dictate that, okay, this isn't really in the spirit of the rule.
So use common sense.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, why can't they? It's not like it's like a courtroom or anything. I think it's crazy.
Stupid. Very stupid.
Why don't they just play him?
See what happens.
Yeah, what are they going to do? They don't own the college football playoff.
They're going to make your games ineligible, I guess.
If Deion was North Carolina's coach, that's what he would do.
If they go undefeated, playoff will select them anyway. Not that they're going to, but just play him. Force their hand. Who cares?
Agreed.
Yeah, for those that don't know, my 9 for instance, UNC kid did not even play at the first school due to COVID. He only played at one school. I mean, that's the whole point. Technically, a double transfer, but again, not really.
Right.
But the NCAA won't engage in that nuance.
Well, yeah, but did you get, like, a free transfer and a free year of eligibility because of COVID?
I don't think you got a free transfer, right?
Did you get a free? I know it was a free year of
eligibility.
eligibility.
It's a year. I don't think you get a free transfer.
But it's like if that year didn't even
And his school
count,
didn't play football, so
no,
that's
it's
why.
dumb.
Yeah.
It's dumb. We don't need to rehash it. Like, we all agree it's dumb as hell. I don't know why the NCAA is doing it.
All right, moving on. The NBA Board of Governors voted unanimously yesterday to approve tougher resting policy rules and punishments for star players who sit out games. The new policy says that star players have to be available for national television games and in-season tournament games, a new little tournament they made in Las Vegas. They also must maintain a balance between the number of one-game absences in road and home games. The NBA wants you to rest star players if you absolutely have to at home. This is relevant. Steph Curry hasn't played in New Orleans since early 2021. They're trying to avoid situations like that. I think it is a big deal because people like to see star players during the regular season.
Yeah, we'll play the Ocho and Shannon sound a bit later, but I've been thinking a lot about why guys seemingly get hurt so much more. And one of the things that a lot of these old heads seem to believe is that they're just these guys aren't putting their body through the ringer. And so, like, the ironic effect of rest is actually failing to build up some of the, like, calluses that you need to play every night. So I think this is great for the fans, right? I mean, you pay to watch superstars play. There's nothing more lame when you show up and Steph Curry doesn't play.
At least they're pretending to care about the fans.
Yeah, I think it could be a big deal. I think, props to the NBA for trying to do something. I'm going to say no big deal. I don't know how the NBA enforces this. I mean, are you going to start questioning injury reports when they put it out? And what they're going to wind up doing probably is, like, if a LeBron James or a Curry or somebody like that, they're not going to question those injury reports because they don't want the backlash on that.
Well,
but if it's kind of a middle-of-the-road star like a Donovan Mitchell, a Brandon Ingram or something, I feel like they're going to question those a little bit more. So I think this is going to be all over the place.
Yeah, the NBA has ultimate say. They basically get complete dominion over this. And if they concur by using common sense, unlike the NCAA doesn't, want to do, they can fine players up to $1 million. So they might be able to enforce it. We'll see how much they actually do.
Oh, God. I'm sorry I was freaking out this entire segment, guys. I got a text.
All good.
From an unknown number. And it said, hey, this is so-and-so with the state police. When you have time, give me a ring. I was like, hold up now. I said, what's going on? This is an interesting text to get out of nowhere. It's about a charity thing.
Come on. You gotta leave with, hey, it's blah, blah, blah from the state police in regards to a charity event I have going on.
We got a little sweaty palm action going on. Okay, we're good, guys.
Yeah, that's scary, man.
Jeez.
I have nothing to hide, but we're good. Don't worry.
Do you have the right Bobby Hebert?
Okay. Sorry. Is that going to be it? You might have any more big deal?
Yeah, I got one for you. So Arizona Cardinals head coach and T-Bob's favorite coach, Jonathan Gannon.
Pew, pew.
He has a message for Arizona fans, T-Bob, ahead of their home opener.
Yes,
he said,
I can't wait.
I want the fans to be really loud when we're on defense, but you should be quiet when we're on offense. Make sure you pass the word out to everybody so they know when to cheer and not. Jonathan Gannon thinking the Arizona fans are stupid. Big deal or no big deal?
I don't know the vibes in that stadium.
If I was a Cardinals fan, I think I would actually be a bit triggered by this.
Yes.
And maybe that's too much ego and pride speaking, but, like, come on, dude. Now, to be fair, the Colorado Buffalo fans are out of practice. They were getting, like, hyped up on, like, a Colorado fourth down attempt. Like, when the Buffs were trying to convert a fourth down, they were, like, you could see them cheering like crazy in the stands. Like, I think they cheered like a penalty at another point. So, like, there are fan bases that are out of practice, but not the Cardinals. Any NFL fan base understands. I think it's not a big deal, but I think Gannon, man, is just so easy to make fun of.
I love that this is Jonathan
His interview
Gannon.
must have been, like, very interesting. I don't know, like, when he interviewed for that job, he must have blown them away with something.
Or
I don't know what it is.
Or all the other candidates just had really bad interviews. Like, that's possible as well. No, if it was any other coach, I wouldn't have even brought this up. I just thought it was funny because it was Jonathan Gannon, and it's so on
Saved
brand.
the bus today.
Did you get a fire in your gut?
Also, guys, the other part of that, no NFL player took the bus.
Yeah, who took the bus to the team facility?
Okay, maybe he meant like a shuttle from like maybe the hotel. Okay, that makes more sense.
They're going to take an Uber.
Yeah,
He's
no,
like, did you buy
sense.
a bus ticket this morning?
But we didn't even shuttle from the hotel. I guess they did, actually. I used to ride. Yeah, that's true.
He had one available. God, what a weird first couple of months for the Cardinals organization.
Brennan says T was about to go home and destroy all his computers. I would not destroy my computers, okay? When you destroy your computers, you have one thing to hide, okay? And that is not me, to be painfully clear. But I have nothing to hide, so don't go through me. All right, when we get back, still munchies with Chef Michael Johnson, I think, at least. I forgot the text, Chef. So we'll see. If not, we're going to play that Shannon and Ocho sound. More OTB coming up next.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary. for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
At brightenupbatonrouge.com. Thanks, Leo. That's brightenupbatonrouge.com.
Quality Sod simply wants to supply you with the healthiest, weed and pest-free, easiest to install grass sod. Large or small quantities, we want to help you select the right grass for your project. Pickup or delivery, 225-610-4842 or QualitySod.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Ryan Clark, Mike Triplett, our Fantasy Blitz. We'll check in on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Ton to do. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Shout out to all the real ones. They could beat this on Expert on Guitar Hero. I definitely could not. You were a legend if you could. Let's go to the phone lines. It's Thursday at 9:15, which means it's time for Munchies with our guy, Chef Michael Johnson. Chef Johnson, what's up, dude?
What's up, guys?
Hey, bruh.
Nothing, man. What's going on? How's everything going? How's your week going?
And the heat has broken, so any day that it's not 110 degrees, I'm okay with.
Feels great, doesn't it? See, all those heat calluses we built up.
Yep.
Now when it's 90, might as well be 70. Feels incredible outside.
There's no question.
Does too.
Hashtag Munchies, what are your opinions on using sauces with steaks? Ooh.
Well, I came up in a French kitchen, so if I said I didn't believe in them to some degree, I'd be lying. But, nowadays I'm more of a purist. I don't mind a little sauce on the side, but, I like to taste the beef. If you're paying for good beef, you need to taste it, not cover it in gravy or sauce or whatever you want to call it,
What would the sauce be, though?
Like I like an poivre sauce with a steak. You take green peppercorns and simmer them down with a little butter until they wake up, and then put some demi-glace in with it and let that reduce down, and then finish it with a little cream. Some people will do it with like cracked black peppercorns and flambe the peppercorns. There's different ways of going about it, but the idea is you have this peppery, rich sauce that goes alongside with your steak.
Yes, I've been buying like good, fresh ground beef lately, and it just makes all the difference in the world.
It does too, yeah.
It's insane. Hashtag Munchies. What's chef's go-to food at fairs? So I guess like a Renaissance fair, a state fair. Go-to.
Man, I've eaten some crazy food at fairs. I've eaten a fried Twinkie before. I've eaten fried butter at a fair before. I've eaten fried Oreos at a fair before.
How is fried butter?
It's pretty rich and not really, something I would suggest you do.
Okay, fair. No. Like what, fried Oreos, were they pretty good at least?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. It was like sweet and savory together,
Yeah.
Contrasting.
Yeah.
I always kind of like the chicken on a stick down at the Jazz Fest, would they have a potato, like a Hasselbeck potatoes on a stick where you slice it? Yeah, those are pretty cool.
I never had that.
I'm getting to go to the Texas Oklahoma Red River. Are we calling it Red River Rivalry Shootout? I know they got away from Shootout. Showdown. Maybe Showdown now. Either way, it's at the state fair, and I cannot wait. I am going to eat everything that you just said, like, and then some.
Oh man, like fresh ear corn on the grill at a fair is something pretty special. Like if you find one of those places that they have it where they have all the little seasonings on the side, that's pretty cool.
Hashtag Munchies. Do you think a Dutch oven is a necessity for someone who enjoys cooking, or can something else be used in its place?
I have several, so I guess I can't say no. You can mimic it in other ways. I don't know. Like for me, I use the Dutch oven to braise in primarily in the oven, and you can do it on stovetop if you want. And there's other ways to mimic it as well, but I use my Dutch ovens a lot on the campfire when I go out and cook over open flames and put coals on top of it, which it's slightly different. I guess that's a camp stove, but it's the same process really. So
I thought it was when you take the blanket and you put it.
Yeah, chill.
Over your
That's playing turtle.
Hashtag Munchies.
That's playing turtle.
Is Chef a salty or sweet snack person? Playing turtle.
It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I think I go salty first, but I can be sweet sometimes.
Oh, okay, Chef. Prove it.
Chef, Chef, if you were hosting an event and they said, "Hey, we want the theme to be bar food," like bar food, we know what that entails, watching football game type food. Like, what would be maybe like 3 things that you would prepare?
I tried a devil on horseback the other day, and that was pretty good. I'm not terribly versed at that, and I like fried pickles.
Ooh,
I'm a spear
Slices,
guy.
Okay,
guy.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, if I didn't say wings, I'd be foolish. Some people like beanie weenies. I'm not into beanie weenies at all, man. If it's going to be bar food, probably going to be like jalapeno poppers, cheese sticks, quesadillas. That's all, but done well. Like
get the
with
fryer ready for sure.
Yeah, lots of condiments and stuff, man.
It's hard to beat a solid. I love a good just fried chicken tender if it's done well. Hashtag Munchies. While the staff is in the kitchen working, do you play songs on a speaker? And if so, what are you jamming to?
So I do, but this has actually gotten so much better for me. I kind of developed this God complex over music at the Nutrition Center now because we have this deal. It's called Rockbot, and like the kids can come in and use their phones or their devices to play the next song. It's kind of like a wireless jukebox.
Oh.
But I have the almighty control over it. So I can be like, no, I don't like that song. No, I don't like that song.
Damn. So you'll just next people, just instant next.
Yeah. Well, I don't do it all the time, but if I walk out there and the music's too loud, during a conversation, I'll turn it down, or like I can control the hours of when it goes on and off. But definitely, if there's a song, I'm just like, oh God, I can't listen to this song again.
Yeah. How tough would that be? Like if you had someone like in the kitchen, like AirPods, like everybody wears AirPods now. But obviously, you have to be able to hear, like,
that's
behind
right.
and corner and all those things. And so, like, are they allowed in the kitchen?
No, AirPods are not allowed in the kitchen. So in the kitchen, there is the rule is one source of music. Everybody can't have their own music playing from any. Like I feel like I have multiple personalities at that point. So we have one source of music, and as long as it's not cursing and screaming and saying profanities too terribly loud, I tolerate it to some point. If somebody gets offended by it, then I have to be concerned about that. But we listen to all kinds of stuff, not too much country, but there's lots of other stuff.
Yeah.
I like to go into the Nutrition Center and put on some old Hank Williams Jr. or something like that, and make them listen to it.
Well, look, if you're going to go country, yes, you have to go with real country, not whatever this new stuff is. Also, no second sound. Hard rule in our house as well. Hashtag Munchies. This is made for you, Chef. This question was. Brandon White asks, I smoked a pork belly and cut it up into bacon this weekend. Best bacon I've ever had. Any tips and tricks to improve it next time? I need something to smoke.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Ooh.
Like what I'll do is I'll take my belly, and after I cook it, press it so that it's all one uniform thickness. So I'll take it out when it's warm and that fat's soft, and you put another pan on top of it with something heavy enough to press it down. We use like number 10 cans of chili, or not chili, but tomatoes or something that we have here. Just something heavy that presses it down so that as it's cooling down, it compresses, and then you can put it in the refrigerator and cut pieces off of it as you like, and they're all uniform thickness. And then if you cook it again, you're cooking it uniformly, not through one thick side and one thin side.
Ooh. Chef, T-Bob was talking about like a good chicken tender earlier when we were talking about bar food. And obviously, like, I've got a bunch of kids. T-Bob's got a bunch of kids, and they enjoy chicken tenders. Like, what's the most important part of that? Like, if you were making chicken tenders at home, like, what would the process be for you? Because, I mean, sometimes you get it, and you're like, there's just no way this is real anything.
Yeah, well, first it needs to be the tender. Like there's a difference between somebody cutting up breast meat.
Yeah.
It has a different texture to it. So I do like the tenders, or I like them to be fresh. I don't like them to be frozen. I like to use buttermilk in my batter or in my wet.
Yeah.
And then go into a mixture of flour and cornstarch, or flour and potato starch, or flour and rice starch even, and then go back to the buttermilk, and then go into I like panko. I don't know if you know what panko, like
panko crumbs. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that kind of chicken tender. But then on the other side of things, I like a batter. I don't really.
T-Bob just put his nose up in the air at you, Chef.
If I want a fried chicken tender, I want more breading. I want more like crunch. The panko's okay, but it's not quite as fat as what I'm looking for.
So I went into Blue Store one time and watched how they did it, and I'm not going to say it on the radio, but I've seen how they do it, and it's a pretty cool way that they go about it. I like that texture, that Vietnamese texture on chicken, which I think applies to a chicken tender just fine.
Yeah, Blue Store.
God, I really want a chicken tender now, and I never crave chicken
fried
tenders.
chicken. I ain't had fried chicken in a hot minute, dude. Hashtag Munchies. What chef's recovery plan, or how do you recover? It seems like he's trying to ask, from foot and leg pain after a long day of standing at work.
Yeah, potassium is one of,
Really?
like bananas, pickles, stuff like that. And the kind of the recovery as a whole, not for me because I'm not an athlete by a far stretch, but not anymore anyhow. But you need to have some protein in your diet to help rebuild those muscles. As you're exercising, the muscles are tearing apart, bit by bit, and so you need to put protein back into your body to let that happen. But pickle juice helps, bananas help, stuff with potassium helps.
What kind of shoes we rocking, Chef? Standing all day like that.
I have some. I'm not sure what these. I forget what they're called, man.
I mean, are there chef shoes?
They're chef shoes. They're not
Okay.
clogs. They're kind of in between. They're kind of a mixture between a sneaker and a clog. They're super comfortable soft-wise, but they're not. They don't sit up high like a heel.
Right, like a clog, yeah.
Oh, I think of clogs as being like
Mozos.
wooden.
Yeah,
You're
no,
like,
these are like spongy soles. Yeah,
Like Beer
I
Fest?
used to wear clogs. I turned my ankle over in them once, and you turn your ankle over in the kitchen on a clog, and people start looking at you like, "What the hell are you wearing clogs for anyway?"
Yeah.
High ankle sprain, not just debilitating on the football field. Pretty awful for the kitchen as well, dude.
Yeah.
Can't really. You normally don't have enough room in the kitchen. I feel like, Chef, to work around on a wheelchair or crutches.
Yeah, when you tell the kitchen that you sprained your ankle in clogs, there's no respect whatsoever.
Makes sense.
Hashtag Munchies. Should I stop by Mary Lee's and get half a dozen donuts on my way home from Chick-fil-A?
Wow.
Come on, let's do it.
Carly's about to have a baby, and it sounds like Mama Bear may be having some cravings.
She's got cravings. It's interesting how the human body does those cravings too. Like my mom had cravings for pickles when she was pregnant with me, and now like I put pickles on everything. I don't give it.
Have you had pickle vodka?
Oh yeah,
it's good.
Pickles in vodka and eating the pickles.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, that's the next level.
I had a really good 4th of July up at Toledo Bend one year with pickles and vodka.
Hell yeah! Sounds like a very funny setup for a story.
T-Bob has as well. Literally the same setup, basically.
Hashtag Munchies. Do you have a sauce packet drawer at home? If so, what kind of sauces do you have in it? I'm actually a bit of a hoarder. We have this.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm a sauce hoarder a little.
Yeah, me too.
I have these little. They're like a stock in a cup. It's like a 1/4 ounce of stock that I keep in my drawer at the house because they're shelf stable, and you open it up and it makes like a quart of stock, and it's perfect for cooking at the house.
Hell yeah!
He's got a drawer of pork belly.
Yeah, exactly.
I do have a little baggie of pork skins in my truck, though. Can't get too far.
Wait, so just good to go whenever. Just a pork rind is ready to pop in. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
I've been keeping pork lard in my fridge to treat the cast iron with, and then some beef tallow to sear steaks in and stuff. And I don't think I'll ever be without them from now on. I feel like my cast iron's in a better position than it's ever been before.
Yeah. The smoke point is higher than what you would think. Like the flavor of it's incredible. I like to use duck fat as well. You'll get some duck breast, or just like trim the fat off the breast, or the excess, and render that down. We buy duck fat by like a 2-pound bucket, and we can use it for certain things. That if it comes off of a creature, the saturated fat isn't as unhealthy for you as other types of saturated fats are. So, yep.
God, it's feeling like a meat kind of night, man. Now I just can't stop thinking about smoking pork belly. I think that's going to be the play. Jeff, thank you so much, man.
Absolutely, guys. Take care.
Love you. You have a great weekend. Love you.
I
love you too. Oh,
he hung up and it was audible.
Man,
Jesus.
he heard you say it. Oh my! He heard you say it and he hung up.
No, it's okay.
T-Bob, I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah.
I also love Drew B. Medical.
Yeah, me too.
But I'll tell you more about that on the other side. When we get back, more off the bench.
OTB, OT.
Shout out Community Steel Company, baby. That's right. Community Steel in Gonzales, Louisiana is disrupting the steel game. And that's because forget about all these national steel boys that are jacking up prices because of middlemen getting their greasy little paws in there, okay? You want local steel, all purlin, tubing, steel buildings, all they're built on site in Gonzales. You go tour the facilities, you go deal with and talk to the live and local sales team. It's all there at Community Steel. The best prices, the local products. Again, like I said, boots on the ground, actual human sales team that you can talk and interact with, and they're a ton of fun. Community Steel Company, hit them up today.
Yeah, you can actually go see them Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5 p.m., and they encourage you to come see them in Gonzales, so you certainly can get that done. Like T-Bob said, they welcome you into the showroom, but also call that number. You're speaking with someone local, not somebody in Dallas or Atlanta or somewhere else, right here in the Baton Rouge area, 225-647-2020.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com.
Lunch live from downtown. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar and Town Square Pizza. It's live at lunch Thursday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Live at lunch, live from Jolie Pearl and Town Square Pizza on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Hey, real quick, want to remind you, RejuveMeMedical.com, okay? You want to feel younger, better, faster, stronger, feel like you just got a brand new pair of PF Flyers.
Ooh, yeah.
You want to go to Rejuve Me Medical, okay?
PF Flyers with ankle support.
Yeah, exactly.
Rejuve Me is.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, they're like the high ankle. You know, tie them things up. Tie your face up because your wrinkles are disgusting. I'm just kidding, guys. But seriously, if you're having insecurity about your wrinkles, you know, it's not just it's facial aging, it's andropause, menopause, mood and memory, insomnia, everything we're always talking about. They treat it at Rejuve Me, and they're very fun. Like, go check out the YouTube channel if you want to get an idea of what I'm talking about. The bottom line is, like, I don't know why we do upkeep on everything but our bodies. Like, it's okay to treat your body the same way you treat your house, right? Where you get the roof fixed and you do these other things because it starts to sag or get old. Rejuve Me Medical, they're your age-defying clinic. They got your back. Restore Me, Refuel Me, Rejuve Me, RejuveMeMedical.com. Chances are you'll probably hear some music like this in the waiting room as well. Go get that free consultation today. Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, Shreveport as well. Rejuve Me Medical.
Interesting situation for the Saints this week that I guess I didn't even notice until earlier when we were doing the Giants kind of conversation about how they lost. I'm taking a look at the slate coming up, and 2 Monday night games this week, one on ESPN, one on ABC. The Saints, ESPN starts at 6:15 Central, and then the Browns Steelers is 7:15 Central on ABC.
I mean, so what? They just took away what made Monday Night Football special?
I didn't even know they were doing that. So the ESPN broadcast will be on ESPN and ESPN2, and then the Browns Steelers on ABC and ESPN Plus.
I don't like that. I thought the whole point of Monday Night Football was like everybody's tuning in.
Yeah.
Now I know they've done it a couple times, like
for an opener.
No,
well, I think a couple years
like
ago,
a back-to-back head. I'm used to the back-to-back double header. I love that.
I think a couple years ago
like
they
a
did
2-hour at least gap between
2 or 3 weeks out of the year. They did like 2 Thursday night games. They've done that before.
Weird experimenting.
Can the Saints not have a standalone Monday night game?
That's what I'm saying.
No,
I don't like it.
The NFL hates the Saints.
Well, they do.
We knew this.
Browns Steelers. No, the NFL doesn't hate the Saints anymore. They hate the Broncos.
They hate Sean Payton.
Yeah, exactly. Like they hate the Broncos now, very clearly.
They really gave him no call ref in the first game.
You know, speaking of Saints, you know what? I was in the closet this morning, and I'm like, I'm looking around, and I see that I've got my Tyrann Mathieu jersey, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put that on, and I also think that doesn't look like a relative of the jersey that T-Bob wears all the time.
No.
Like, they don't even look like they're distant cousins.
It's a bad Chinese knockoff. So you saw Tyrann and then came out? The closet? You mean, I feel like that was a run of events that you just laid out, basically. I don't know. You know who I'm kind of gay for? Ochocinco and Shannon Sharp. Here they are talking about what's wrong with kids these days.
Nutrition. They ain't eating right. They not eating right. They putting all this green stuff in their body. They eating all this healthy stuff.
Man, go ahead. There you go with your foolishness, man.
Listen, that's not helping the body. That's not helping you be able to go out there and perform at a high level.
Shannon Sharp does not approve this message that Ocho is.
I'm just telling you. Right, I'm just telling you what it is. I really wanted to talk to some of these individuals that continue to get hurt.
Okay. What would you tell them?
Cooper Kupp.
Yes.
Y'all come on over here to me. Cooper Kupp, come on over here to me. Let me talk to you. Let me tell you what I did, because I played 13 years. No injuries. Not one. Not one.
Sometimes they might have imbalances.
Imbalance. They ain't eating right. That's one imbalance. They're not eating right, and they're not.
Fast food is not it.
They're not putting their body through the ringer enough. I took every rep. Scout team, first team. I ran down on special teams. I'm doing all this.
Ocho, you do realize that when you play a professional sport, especially the sport of football, and you don't get injured, you know there's a lot of luck in there. There's a lot of luck in what Brett Favre did.
Don't do that.
There's a lot of luck. It is.
It's not luck. There's no luck. There's no luck. Listen, it's called preparation.
Yeah,
it's called preparation. You know, in the summer when I was a little kid, right? Listen to me. And where you grew up at? Where you grew up?
I grew up in South Georgia.
You grew up in South Georgia. I grew up in Liberty City. In the summer, I couldn't go in the house.
No, of course not.
I couldn't go in the house. Grandma, I'm trying to come in and get something to drink. Nah, go to the water hose on the side of the house and drink from the water hose.
Yes, absolutely. That's the way it was. Yes.
Did you get hurt when you were? Did you get hurt when you were little?
If you got hurt, what were you going to do?
Did you get hurt when you were little? Is what I'm asking you. Did you?
I'm sure I got hurt, but you wasn't going to the doctor to do what?
No, you didn't.
Who's going to take you to the doctor, Ocho?
Hey, did y'all had the Candy Lady house where you from? Did you have the Candy Lady house in South Georgia? Did y'all have frozen cups? Did you eat frozen cups?
No, we didn't. I'm from the country. I had route 4 box 385. Anybody that know about this in the South, when you have a route number, you in the country.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just trying to give you a better understanding on why they play it.
Fast food is not the answer, people.
Oh,
fast food is good in moderation, but what he's trying to get you to do as a high-powered athlete.
Let me ask you a question. Listen, the high-power athletes keep getting injured. Year in and year out, the numbers continue to increase.
Tom Brady didn't get injured.
What?
Tom Brady didn't get injured.
He didn't? He didn't get hurt?
He got hurt one time in 23 seasons.
Oh my God. I'm not exaggerating. I think that's my favorite audio exchange I've ever heard in my entire life. Mario, do you feel represented
Hell yeah.
by the elite athlete that is Ochocinco?
He was already my favorite NFL player of all time. I knew about the McDonald's and all that. Hell yeah. He's the king of celebrations.
Hey, I'm with Mario. Like I kind of got Chad Johnson's back on this one.
Yes, he knows what he's talking about.
I might go get some smalls today, dude. Help out my lower back. It's been hurting a little bit. I think that's the key.
As long as you put your body through the ringer, you good.
So to be in all fairness, the fast food take's absurd, but the
word for him.
The ringer take, Jake, is kind of interesting. You know, like as we feel like we kind of touched on it earlier today in the NBA and all this other stuff. It is a question of like it's almost like how these racehorses are back in the day.
You don't become calloused anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You're not building up those reserves, and so you're trying to just go from lighter activity to going 0 to 200.
Think about it. All during the offseason, OTAs scaled back. The things you do in the summer, scaled back. The things you do in training camp, scaled way back. No longer do you have two-a-days. They scaled back a preseason game. Everything is scaled back. So in these CBA arguments, that's what you wanted. You wanted less practice time. Okay, I understand it.
It's funny. That's what they were talking about. They were like, they were talking about how they missed two-a-days. Like they hit on exactly that.
Yeah, because that is where that's where you got your body in the right, not only shape, like out there, but mentally as well. That's where you created everything was during those very hard two-a-days, and you had to find a way to go out there for the second practice, and you did become callous, and you did become like used to living in the suck.
Yeah.
I mean, you had no other choice. And so by the time you got to the games, like those actually were easy because you're like, it's not going to be near what it was for that 7th day in a row where we had back-to-back padded practices every day.
So that comes from, I can't remember what they're calling it, but Ocho and Shannon at the end of the NFL Sunday do a recap show. And I listened to the whole thing yesterday, and it was awesome. All right, when we get back, let's close out the show.
OTB, OT.
All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Ocho. You're going to no-cho where you want to get your car if you go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. No. Look at these creamy thighs. Let it distract you. Okay, now back to me. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. You need a new car, whether it's a new vehicle, Toyota certified used vehicle, whatever the case may be. Go check out the selection online. Go to Airline Highway today. Go see them in person. Let them be your guide. Again, no matter what you or your family needs, they have the answers. You can customize it as much or as little as you want. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, when you're customized, you can have Ochocinco options. That's how many they have. You can add, you can take away, you can do all those things because you're creating it how you want it to. So no matter what you're looking for, they can do it for you. Right there on the homepage, click on New, build your Toyota. Also, leasing and the rental department, per-day rental prices. Check all of that on the homepage, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin. plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Rouse's Luke Johnson, talking Saints, and Stefan Krajnik from the Jackson Clarion Ledger, talking Mississippi State Bulldogs. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Streisand. OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Crush Light, Vizzy Art Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Wheat. What game y'all going to this year? I don't know. I normally can make it like the first half of one game.
I went to Grambling last week.
I want to go to the Army game.
I'll be there as well.
That'd be my choice.
Might go to Arkansas.
And I'll be at Army Navy.
Why do you want to go to that game, Joe?
Army, I just think it would be cool. I mean, they still, you know, and then, you know, it's the military academy. Their band would probably perform at halftime. That's supposed to be a pretty good show as well. So, yeah, I'd go Army.
Hashtag ask.
This is an awful song. What is this?
I've heard him randomly yell
All right,
Barbara
play
Streisand.
something else. Fine.
Why are we talking Barbara Streisand?
Thoughts on Alabama players eating gator before their game against the USF Bulls. Is that true?
Yeah, I saw that. They posted it. I don't.
Seems like aggressive towards USF.
Yeah, I mean,
if I'm
they're
USF,
the
I'm
Bulls
like,
too.
guys.
Like, just eat a cow.
Yeah, like a burger.
Yeah, like a burger would make more sense than
they
a
are the
gator.
Bulls.
Yeah, like why are you eating a gator?
That's the Florida Gators.
Well, why has the story even been made of this? And
I don't know.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Would you rather win $1 million or never have to pay taxes again for the rest of your life?
Never pay taxes again.
Yeah.
Easy.
Sure.
Easy money.
Ask the Bench. How does it feel to lose so badly to FSU? Look, if that's you, redhead kid. I don't know.
Not good. 2 years
I never
in a row.
played against Florida State. Did you, T-Bob?
I see. And then he goes on to say, I'm 25, 6'5", 220 pounds. I can whoop any Tiger's ass.
Cool.
Tell him
Anybody that tells you how big they are and is the loudest guy in the room ain't about that life.
Ask the Bench. How many glazed do you need? How many glazed do you get in a half dozen BS?
Put down the vodka, then comment.
I don't know. I don't understand the question. I could eat. If it's how many could I eat if I was trying to maximize glazed donuts, it's one of those foods where I know this isn't true, but I feel like I could just eat infinite until like eventually I wouldn't be able to anymore. I don't know. Like 30? Could I realistically do 30? No, but I feel like I could. I mean, a fresh Mary Lee's glaze just dissolves in your mouth. Like it feels like you're essentially.
It's basically like a Listerine strip.
Yes, exactly. That is the perfect analogy.
Yeah.
And I could eat 40 Listerine. Oh my God, that'd be awful. My stomach would hurt so bad. Ask the Bench. Can we get Honey a shout out for being cool and only having a few more weeks of pregnancy? What are y'all talking about?
That's Carly. They call her Honey, I think.
Oh,
in the
what?
chat. Yeah.
Ooh, that's bonk.
Yeah.
I think. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Worst state, Florida or Alabama? You know, glass houses, guys. We're all kind of in this thing together.
Alabama is the answer.
Florida is definitely a diverse state. Like every little section's completely different than the other.
Well, you got Miami, Disney World's out there, Universal Studios is out there.
Yeah, the Panhandle's completely different than that. Jacksonville's completely different.
That Florida's
I would
worse
say
when
top
they
to
have
bottom.
Epcot because Epcot's awesome.
Yeah, top to bottom, Florida's probably
Birmingham's
better.
a great city, though.
Birmingham's cool.
I like the Birmingham area.
And you know they got like the space stuff. Or no, did they not get it? Or there's I don't know what.
I don't know. They got the Pelicans G League team.
That's right. Go
Squadron. Hell yeah.
Squadron up. Favorite
Sure.
type of eggs Benedict? The Arnold. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. More OTB.
OTB. OT.
Go to Accutip of Baton Rouge, AccutipBR.com, AccutipBR.com. Take control of your comfort zone. Look, sometimes it may feel in life like you have no control. Your kids won't listen to you. Your wife's talking to other men behind your back. Maybe your other spouse is. Your boss doesn't respect you. You're dissatisfied with your career. Every day you realize you're getting older and one step closer to death. And the only thing you're learning for is just one little modicum of control over this thing we call life. Well, guess what? Your AC, heat, and electrical, you can get it with Accutip of Baton Rouge, okay? Go check out the online reviews, AccutipBR.com.
Yeah, go to the website right there in the top right corner. Go ahead and schedule that appointment online if you need them to come out because, like I tell you all the time, like I did it on the show, they're going to be there basically waiting on you, and you'll get a profile of exactly who's coming to your house. They'll give you information about who it is, and so you know who's coming to your house to work on your unit. Go to AccutipBR.com, AccutipBR.com.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can lease a new Toyota 4Runner for $489 per month. That's right, you can get a brand new 2023 Toyota 4Runner for $489 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving